like single player games are dying out, and those like
No, luckily not.
that can't happen. Contrary, I actually think single player games are a lot more popular with the all the indie developers on itch.io and things like that now able to self-publish games. There's a lot more games that are specifically designed for single players. Um,
Mm.
but I'm happy to play Heroes of Hammerwatch or even some Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, the Years of Hammerwatch is just a little bit a little bit involved for you. Your poor focus will be split.
Hmm.
Well, likely both of our focus, to be fair.
No, it does draw my focus a lot.
Okay, cool. Audio. I just checked our audio
Conversely, we
levels.
could try. Ooh, we could try building a subclass.
Subclass.
One of the many subclasses we've joked about creating.
Oh dear lord. Sure.
It can just be the basics, the starts and ideas put to paper.
Let's jump in and see how that goes. We are live, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Cool. No worries.
Subclass. I like the subclass idea,
Mm.
but I also had 4 beers this afternoon, so my brain is.
Hey,
mush.
that's perfect. That liquid bread, we can include it as a feature of the Gastro-mancer wizard.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's have a look. Let me start up my fancy grounds.
It genuinely doesn't have to be extremely involved. It can just be the
Yes.
basics.
Out of Castro.
Now, I'm going to build it on D&D Beyond. And it's always easier to start with an existing subclass and just tweak it for your own purposes. So
It'll be a
I'm
wizard
wondering,
subclass, won't it?
yes, I am trying to decide which will be the best subclass to build it on. Hmm.
Right, yeah. I'm just quickly updating my fancy grounds and we'll go from there.
I actually think the Order of Scribes would be a good one to base it on. Mostly because the Order of Scribes works on the premise of having a spell book that is like sentient. And it does some of the like it literally augments your spells via being sentient. I really like the idea of this class having its spells be connected to recipes. It doesn't have to be written recipes. It just needs to be essentially the concept of you cook your spells. Not all of them, but like that's one of the big features is you can store spells in pastries and stuff like that. At least that's what I had in mind for some of the more high level abilities. Like literally store spells in the form of pastry.
Gastro-mancer. This yeah, there's a lot of jokes to be made here.
Yep.
Let's have a look here. Oh, let me not
Minor alchemy. Or otherwise the transmute.
start just gonna quickly launch load game. Right, I'm starting up my cloud server. Always to play along at home. Oh,
Cool.
good lord. And then gonna go copy a subclass. Although, yeah, that works a bit differently. I'm just trying to think now. Creating a subclass in Fancy Grounds for 5th edition means that you basically create a copy of the class and just create its own subsections. Because it's just essentially another class entry.
Hmm.
So
I'm going to start on the Order of Scribes subclass as a base and then edit it from
Order of
there.
Scribes subclass. Okay, tell me more about the Order of Scribes.
So the Order of Scribes at first level gives at second level when you choose your um, wizard school gives you two main features. Most of the wizard like schools and subclasses all give you two main features at second level. For the Order of Scribes, it's Wizardly Quill and Awakened Spellbook. Now, the Wizardly Quill is essentially just some hand waving surrounding the fact that you have a magical quill that doesn't require ink um, to write with it, and when you write with it, copying a spell into your spell book equals 2 minutes per spell level if you use this quill for the transcription. So, where for most wizards it takes you a lot longer to copy spells into the book, you can do it very quickly. You still need to use all the material like the money,
Mhm.
um, but it's faster. And then you can erase anything you write with the quill with the wave of a well, you they're assuming you're using a feather quill. You can erase anything you write with the quill if you wave the feather over the text as a bonus action, provided the text
Ah,
is in 5 feet of you. So you can make it vanish.
Vanish. Okay, well, let me bring up a. So, okay, so this is subclass creation. So I'm gonna have to go to character classes. And under character classes, because I want to create this custom one, this is now in Fancy Grounds. I'm just gonna quickly go to create a new category. Group one. One is gonna
The
be.
um the second feature you gain at second level is
Mm-hmm.
Awakened Spellbook. Um, Now there's some finer points, but the main thing is you can use your spell book as a spellcasting focus. And when you cast a spell with a spell slot, you can temporarily replace its damage type with another that's appears in the spell book. Um, when you cast a
Order of.
spell,
Wait, Order of Scribes, is that.
Tasha's.
I was about to say. Here we go.
And yeah, it's a spell casting focus. When you cast a leveled spell, because you need to expend a spell slot, and you have a spell that has fire damage and a spell that has ice damage, you can change the ice damage from the ice spell to fire damage because you have the fire spell in your spell book, and it only needs to be in the spell book and of the same level. Um, and then when you cast a wizard spell as a ritual, you can use the spell's normal casting time rather than adding 10 minutes to it. But you can only do that once per long rest. So it's a very powerful school. Um,
Hmm?
but I'm using it mostly because I like the idea of the wizardly quill is essentially like a cooking utensil of some sort. And your awakened spell book is just a recipe book of some description. I just want to write the name. Gastro-mancer. Version 1. Short description. Um, Short description. Gastromancer
Oh.
masters of culinary magics. Shaping spells, shaping dough, and
So, oopsie, that's wrong. So what I'm looking at right
memorizing
now
rules.
is, okay, you're doing some of the
As
preliminary
recipe.
writing. I'm gonna clean out the blade singing. Okay, so blade singing on this. Okay, I made a copy of the Tasha's class in 5th edition in uh, Fancy Grounds. So I'm gonna quickly just clear out the extra features for um or the blade singing, the blade singer subclass.
Hmm.
That can be training of the war song. That can go away. Next one is blade song. Can obviously go away. Extra attack can go. A wizard with an extra attack. Song of defense. Song of victory.
Defense.
Defense. And then obviously this blade singing thing. Singing needs to go. Bye bye. There we go. Okay. Order of the scribes. That's what you're basing this on, correct?
Yes.
And you're basically just sort of like retheming some of it, and obviously we can re-kit some of these things. Like, I mean, I understand the idea of wizardly quill can be like the wizardly ladle, or rolling pin. I like the pin a bit more. The bludgeoning weapon. Awakened spellbook you get. Okay, so arcane recovery is normal. Spellcasting is normal. Arcane tradition. Okay, third level cantrip formula. That's normal. Where's the wizardly quill here? There it is, number 2. Awakened spellbook. Where do you get that? You just get that off the bat. Level 2 as well. There it is. Cool. Manifest mind. Manifest mind level 6. Master. What's master? What is that?
Master Scrivener.
What does scriven mean?
It means writer. Master writer.
Oh.
When you scriven something, you write it.
The hell, scrivener? Okay, hang on.
Do you need to look it up?
I'm gonna Google this. Well, ping it.
Cool.
Scrivener. It's actually also a program.
Yes.
It's a word processing program and outlet designed for authors. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Whatever.
Oh well, a scrivener specifically is a clerk, a scribe, or a notary. A person who invested money at, or a person who invested money at interest for clients and lent funds to those who wanted to raise money on security. That is what a scrivener is, but the word scriven meaning is, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it is an archaic term meaning to put in writing. Right, this is the thesis scrivened in delight, Wallace Stevens.
Interesting.
Yes.
And
But
then
yes, I need another name. Okay, this field is required. Oh.
Okay, well, I've got my Gastro-mancer empty class essentially ready to go. So I'm just going to start to slowly edit these things. Wizardly quill obviously be something that'll be.
Yes. I need to think of a nifty, cool new name. Wizardly quill. Let's call it.
Pete's sake.
So yes,
I'm just using placeholder names for now.
Rolling pin, scrolling pin,
Scrolling pin. Awakened spellbook. That'll be the awakened cooking book.
Recipe book.
Awakened cookbook.
Or cookbook. I wouldn't call it awakened. It's similar to
Or just
Order of
cookbook.
Scribes. Cookbook. Ladle. Arcane ladle. No, a ladle implies that it's a ladle and not anything else. We want a generic word.
We'll get back to that. Manifest mind. We don't know what that'll be yet. So that's the level.
No, we don't.
That's a level 6 subclass. So unknown. Question mark 6. Manifest mind. Okay. Master Scrivener will probably be Master Baker. That's an idea for now.
Master Bacon.
Master Bacon. Yes, Master Bacon. Some people Yeah, the way some people make their identity all about bacon, could be. One with the word. It could be one with the pot. No, that sounds bad.
Oh yeah, man. The one with the pot. So groovy.
One with the stove. No, it doesn't have to be one with. We don't know what this is called yet. We need some more information. This is the level 14
Signature
ability.
dish. I think that
Ooh.
the level 14 ability is called signature dish.
You know which spell needs to be available to this signature dish? Which spell needs to be available for this class? Subclass?
Hmm.
Is that hero feast thing that clerics can
Oh
do?
yes, you mean Hero's Feast.
Yeah. Okay. That is a
uh,
that is a cleric spell, right?
yes,
I
it
know it
is.
is cleric.
That might be a good idea. Instead of giving a long, contrived, complex sixth level ability, which is, for the Order of Scribes is the Manifest Mind, we give them an essentially
Extended
a list
spell
of
list of sorts.
yeah, a spell list, specifically a set of cleric spells, because um, the there was an unearthed arcana that came out a few years ago. I can't remember the subclass's exact name, but it was so broken. Essentially, it was a wizard subclass that also allowed you to pick spells from the cleric spell list.
Oh,
And that is just so broken. So I really like the idea of giving just a little table of spells that they can pick from that are from the cleric spell list as well. And maybe incorporate that, yeah, you can learn these spells as well. If you come across them, you can scribe them into your spell book. Um, uh, and because then I really like the idea of the Gastromancer in particular being able to be a healer. Now, usually the wizard doesn't actually get access to healing spells. Um, so cure wounds and healing word and those healing spells are definitely going to be on that list. But I think that should be the sixth level feature because it is a very powerful thing to do to a wizard is allow them access to healing spells and cleric spells in general.
I know for a fact. I'm collecting a few spells, and I'll
Okay,
to
cool.
look into
I'm
that.
still I'm still caught hung up on the alternate name for wizardly quill. Um,
um, no spells contain the word cook in their title.
fine
Should have
label.
known. Food? No. Let's what
No.
bake? No. What about heal? Restoration. Great restoration. Restoration is mostly in artificers can cast it
Arcane
and
crockery.
arcane crocker.
No,
Prestidigitation.
arcane crockery. But those are, yeah, crockery isn't. Um, Crockery is cups and dishes and other things that are containers. They're not. Mm, Cutlery. That's the word I'm looking
There
for.
we go. I was about to say.
I knew there was a counterpoint to crockery, cutlery and crockery. Arcane
Aren't they both
cutlery.
just French words we're misusing?
I do not know what you are talking about.
No. Okay, well that's very
No.
offensive.
Yes, yes.
Let's have a
Cutlery,
look here.
knives, forks, and spoons used. Okay. Arcane cutlery. I love it. As a bonus action, you can magically create a set. Not a set.
Feast. There's zero feast, but what other magics would be vaguely food related? Or what create? Create
Goodberry.
bonfire.
I know it's a cantrip, but I want to do an entire like list of
Yeah,
cantrips
I'm
to ninth level. So Goodberry is on that list.
cool. Great, grabbing good berry. What else? Protection from evil. I think that's a cleric. No, wizards get that as well.
That's a
Oh
druid
yeah, they do.
spell.
Protection from good and evil is wizard as
Doesn't
well.
specifically have to be cleric. It's just things that could match the theme.
No. I know. I'm already looking into that. Ooh, animate object. I want this
As a
because
bonus
I've
action, you can magically create an arcane cooking utensil. And magic utensil has the following: utensil.
Ooh, yes. Ow. We're mind. Let's have a look at ceremony. I'm gonna add ceremony to this as well.
Okay, yes.
Can't remember. Level 1.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, chill touch. That makes sense. Well, I might think that's a wizard spell already. Yep, that's wizard already. My spell list is growing big.
Ideally, I would recommend 2 spells of every level.
Yeah, I'm currently just grabbing them up. Control flame makes sense, but I think that's wizard already. Yeah, wizard
Check
has it already.
create bonfire. Check create bonfire.
That's wizard already.
Okay, right.
I'll double check. Xanathar, Stashas, Eberron. Create bonfire. What? Oh, it came out of Xanathar's. Yeah, it's wizard already. Creation.
Yeah.
Fire! Creation's already a wizard spell. Locate creature. Wizard already. Alright, I'm not sure which other spells would really fit. Let's see if I can find. Nope. Alt? Diced. No. Sources. Let's just solidly click on cleric and see what that brings. Oh, je purples. Terug. Commune. You talk to someone. 1 minute. Divination. Cleric. That's not what we want. Dawn, cure wounds, create.
Guidance or the other can. Guidance will make a good. I don't want to steal too many things from the druid because druidcraft also actually kind of makes sense. I know that wizards already have prestidigitation, but druidcraft can make a flower blossom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bud bloom, which can be very useful in cooking. If you want to just quickly grow some herbs. So the other one I thought of was druidcraft because that's the one thing druidcraft can do that prestidigitation cannot. But it's entirely up for
Yeah, it's all
review.
subject, yeah. Subject to
Uh,
change.
right, so
Legend lore.
you can magically create an arcane cooking utensil in your hand. The magic utensil has the following properties. When used,
Plane shift, planar bind. Prayer of healing. Raise dead. Do you think you'll be able to raise dead with your cooking?
maybe.
No, I was actually a rhetorical question, but okay. Um. Oh dear. Silence it is. She symbol.
when you used in the preparation of and magically flavor.
Possibly. Word
I
of
checked
recall, water
plain
walk.
describing it. How does the dust Dude's handy spice pouch describe the flavoring of?
Okay, let's have a look at. Okay, so I've got a list of spells here. I'm gonna quickly
Mm.
just sort them by level, and then we'll let you know in a second. Uh, Boom. Okay, right. Let's have a look here.
Deliciousness.
Level 1.
Reddish brown dust can be sprinkled over any edible substance to greatly improve the flavor. The dust also dulls the eater's senses. Anyone eating food treated with this dust has a disadvantage on wisdom ability checks and wisdom saving throws.
Sounds
Kind of want
appetizing.
to kind of want to actually incorporate that.
Is this a magic item?
Yes, but powerful, so I must incorporate it carefully. What I really want is actually, I just realized the wording under prestidigitation. Where we are. And part about flavoring.
It needs to be flavored. Le flavor. Okay, do I have a copy
Here,
of
you
this
chill,
now?
warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. Here we are. When used in the preparation of food, you can magically flavor. Should I incorporate preparation of an automatic magically flavor up
I
to one
think I've
cubic
lost the
foot?
plot a little bit. Where are you now with this? Are you looking?
I'm
Are you trying to build an
still
ability?
busy. Yeah, I'm still busy with the arcane cutlery.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want to make sure because I'm looking into spells. I kind of lost where you were.
Don't worry, we're working on two different ends
No, I'm
here.
aware. I just didn't want to not be engaging in conversation with you. I was just like, what the hell's going on for a moment? After choosing a whole bunch of spells, I actually got a nice array, a nice spread. Ooh, spread. Restoration.
Of course, they can learn idiot sandwich for free.
Oh, we've got that. Do we still have that here? Hang on. I think we still have idiot sandwich somewhere
Yeah, okay,
here.
but idiot sandwich is a totally homebrew spell.
I don't
We
have it
want we
listed here.
want we want the subclass to be what's
Yeah,
the word? An agnostic. So
transmutation, good Mary. That's level 1.
magically flavor up to 1 cubic.
Spell good berry.
Flavor.
Animate objects. I really like this as an option. I'll explain a little bit why I think animate objects should belong here, but I'll finish building
I'm
my
pretty
list
sure
here.
that's already on the.
Animate objects, probably. No, well, okay, I got it here on the artificer list, but yeah, it's probably already there. In which case, it's a moot point. Anyway, moving on. Ceremony is level 1. I got that. Cool. Next, we go for guidance. That's a cantrip. Cantrip. I can trip you. Right. There we go. Guidance. Okay, cool. And then
Flavor up.
level 2. I got no level 4 spells. Holy crap. Okay, well, let me go dive into the level 4 spell list and see if I can find anything there. And non-wizard. Let's have a look at cleric first. Blam blam. Okay, cool. Right. So, I like the idea of locate creature for some reason because maybe you need to hunt for your food, but that then shifts the focus. Stone shape, no. Divination, Maybe. Banishment. Control water. But the wizard has that already, so. Death ward. Death ward could go.
Assistance.
No. You carry on. I'll give you my list in a minute, and we can then clean up. Let's go from cleric to druid for a second. Ooh, that's interesting. That's also useful. But blight is already a wizard spell. I was looking at blight as well, but ice storm, guidance of nature, giant insect. What? I've never had anyone cast this on my table before.
Yeah, no, neither have I.
You transform into a series of bugs equal to, depending on your size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guardian of nature, grasping vines. Part of me wants to go stone skin, but
aura of purity.
Okay. What level is that?
4th. Looking for.
But that's not. Okay, let me just here. Aura.
It's a paladin only spell.
Aura of purity. Duration up to 10 minutes. Aura and for the feet until its spell ends. Or the aura moves with you. Obviously. Each hostile creature, including you, can't become diseased. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's level 4 spell we are adding in. Okay, cool. Now I need to go back to level 3.
Okay.
Well, if we hopped over to Paladin, we might as well do Aura of Vitality as well.
Don't we already have? We have Death Ward and Aura of Purity. I only want for now just two spells of every level.
Yeah, but Aura of Vitality is level 3.
Oh yes. Okay, then you can add Aura of Vitality.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna go look for level 6 spell now.
Let me double check. I mean, I know it's 3rd level, but I'm just checking what other 3rd levels we have to work with. There is also Beacon of Hope. The spell bestows hope and vitality. Choose any number of creatures within range for the duration. Each target has advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving. And regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any heal. I think I prefer that one, Beacon of Hope. Yes, I much prefer that one. Aura of Vitality.
Just now for the 3rd level.
Aura of Vitality is powerful, but I don't. It's a spammable spell. I want to avoid giving too many spammable spells. I want to make it flavorful. No pun intended. No pun intended.
Spicy wizard.
Yeah, I want to make it flavorful, but not, just like, yo, so broken. It's gonna be a little bit powerful anyways. So, we'll see how it goes. And using the preparation of food, you can magically flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living matter. Just leave it of not.
Yes, I know I got the spelling wrong, Jason. Hi. Thank you.
I don't think you got the spelling wrong. I don't think
my notes document is called Gastro-mancer.
Ah, Gastor. That's the name of the very first Gastro-mancer ever. My name is Gastor the Great.
Okay, well now we've got lore notes. Thank you so much, Jason. Gastor.
All right, so I'm still busy trying to finish the arcane cutlery feature.
The first ever mancer of Gastro was Mr. Gastor, the mancer.
No, Gastor the Great.
The Great. What made him so great?
Gastro-mancer. So there's even more lore behind to your question. there's even more lore behind the Gastromancer. When I was running Astral Escape, a homebrew campaign about a year or so ago, um, they came upon this domain, an astral domain in the astral sea called the Further Square. And it was being run by an NPC that's a major part of my overarching plots in my version of the Forgotten Realms. But working for him in his kitchen is a gastromancer. And I just invented the concept to explain why he has magical food. And ever since, Philip has sort of my I shouldn't say names, but my brother has wanted me to create this subclass for the longest time, and since then it's just grown and grown and grown
Yeah,
into
we've thrown
a
around,
joke I make up, a joke I
I
bring up every now and then.
and it's something that we essentially have so many little jokes lying around that we can just build a thing. We just haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
But this is completely Dylan's show. I'm just assisting where I can.
I don't sell yourself short. You're going to be invaluable.
No,
Um,
I plan to be invaluable, but this is you're at the helm of this one.
okay, cool. Okay, then the second function of the arcane cutlery must definitely be that cooks utensils. Are they called utensils or tools? The like the actual like tool proficiency. I can't remember now. Uh,
Tools.
cooks tools.
It
Uh,
look it's yeah it'll be tools and then colon. Yes, and then it'll say what it is. So the prefix is always tools.
yeah. It's always
Gastro-mancer.
tools, but they're cooks utensils. Yes, they are called
Okay, cool, cool,
cooks
cool.
utensils. Count as utensils. Uh, can be. How do they word the awakened spell books feature? You can when you cast. You can use the book as a spell casting focus for you. You can use cooks utensils as a spell casting. Can just try and keep in line with
I
Wizard's
like
way
that
of
because
saying things. You can use cook
yeah, it needs to
utensils
be a
as a spell
focus. It's a
as a spell casting focus. Dun, da, 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 you can use utensils. I love it.
colon. Hey.
I love it.
um, what is simulacrum? But it's like a simulacrum is a wizard exclusive spell anyway,
Yes.
so I'm not gonna include that. Okay, moving on.
Alrighty. Um. Finally,
Ooh.
so this is just the utensil. So you can flavor. When used in the preparation of food, you can magically flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living matter.
I'm looking into a couple of spells. I'm keep being mum for a second because the moment I start
Uh,
talking, I'll divert your attention all the way over. But anyone watching the stream can see this spell list I'm kind of currently fiddling with.
and you can use cook's utensils as a spellcasting focus. And then the other feature, we wanted to have something beyond pure flavor, although we could incorporate that into the other
Hey,
section.
this class is pure flavor.
Yes.
It's
It is
like
delicious.
chef's
Magnifique.
kiss.
Chef's kiss, yes. Hey, another spell idea, chef's kiss.
Oh,
It's an enchantment spell. It's a touch spell. No, I'm joking. Um, awakened. No, wizardly quill. So one of the really cool parts of the wizardly quill's original ability is that the time you must spend to copy a spell into your spell book equals 2 minutes per spell level if you use the quill transcription. I want to say. I want to say.
likely yes. We will likely have to end up.
High level spells might need to. homebrew.
Yeah,
Can't
to
think of
homebrew
anything
them.
above level 3. Oh, yeah, like I
We,
told Dominic, we're just essentially gonna give them. We're just gonna essentially flavor it that it's a healing wizard, mostly like a wizard that at 6th level gets access to a select few flavorful spells from other class lists like druid and paladin and cleric. And
mm.
not crazy going out of our way to make it powerful.
Yeah,
Just
the spell list is a little bit secondary to actual the core class, the core subclass
yeah,
extensions.
people will. You're gonna have to, if you really want to really bring out the flavor, make a bunch of
Christ, Dylan.
homebrew spells. If you want to sear the braise the
If you want to lock in the flavor, you're going to have to burn both ends.
yeah. Um, can erase anything you write with the quill. I want to incorporate a feature into the arcane cutlery. That's essentially when you copy a spell into your spell book. Erase anything. Ah, here
Yeah,
we are.
true. It's odd that there
Giving
is
wizards
that.
sounds cool in general, like giving the option to learn healing things.
I
Oh
like
yes.
the. I do agree. But I kind of do understand why you don't give wizards healing magic, because then no one would play clerics anymore.
Cleric is still very powerful.
Obviously. Um.
But I like the fact that it's the 6th level feature that grants you access to um a a, a, a list of like healing and buffing spells, because then it's not like you're a healing wizard right off the bat. It's just a part of the. It's playing into the whole food is good for you, and I've imbued my food and therefore my magic with goodness, and it's
Goodness.
health. It's healthy. It's healthy magic food.
Let's have a look at cleric. Oh yeah, I
Can
might
erase
as well look
anything
at
you
this.
write with the cool. I want to. I want to say
Okay, so I've
where
got a list of
is
spells here. Not all of them are winners. But this will now be an I mean, you're not getting these spells for free, but they are available for you to pick from. That's kind of what this is coming
yes,
through.
yes. It's you can pick them, and then you can also scribe them into your spell book if you find them on scroll.
Yeah, obviously.
That's
I mean, it now forms part of your potential spellcast list.
mm.
Um, so yeah, I'm not sure about all the cantrips though. I don't think I've got all the correct cantrips. You see,
You must move Goodberry from 1st level to cantrip.
I'll go check. Berry is a level 1 transmutation spell.
Is Goodberry a level 1 spell?
Yeah, cantrip.
Wow. Okay. I. Oh. Okay. I thought Goodberry was a cantrip.
Nope.
My apologies.
Thaumaturgy, resistance.
Um, then you can remove, I think, purify food, and then
Hey,
I
welcome, God of
think.
Moxie. Magical shifts are pretty unexplored. Gonna be fun. Yeah, it is. We're,
Thank you. Yeah, this is going to be so much fun.
okay, so
Uh,
here's my preliminary spell list to kind of like run you over it. Okay.
okay, cool.
How do you balance this so I don't make a wizard with just battlefield control spells and all healing? I honestly don't know. I, I'm just gonna smile and nod.
I don't
And
make a wizard, just battlefield. I don't know.
the
The
thing is,
balance is
you
that
don't just
it's locked behind a 6th level feature.
also you don't just get all the healing spells. You get some spells.
Yeah,
Okay, so
and it's still also
but
capped at the fact that while it expands your potential spell list, you are still limited by the fact that you only get 2 every level up, and that the rest you must copy to your spell book.
there's
And
also there's also this.
it's replacing any other 6th level feature you would have had as a wizard. Is just this feature of an expanded spell list.
So something that will be as balanced as anything else. Honestly, seems fine. Yeah, no, agreed. Something that I want to sort of like let stepping like a little bit out of D&D. I want to talk a little bit about the lexicon we're using. Very fancy word, Dominic. Anyway, no, just a word use. So I love my old school JRPGs. I haven't played one recently again, but I do love though. You grew up with Baldur's Gate. I grew up with Final Fantasy. That's basically what it came out. Okay, so in Final Fantasy, in many of the JRPG series, there's actually a key difference between healing and curing. So and that's something you kind of have to pick up on if you want to survive the game. So cure would usually be replenishing lost hit points. Heal would be altering status effects. So if you're poisoned, heal. If you are if you've got a time stop effect ticking down, well, obviously there are other things for that, but heal usually is your go-to for that. So I like knowing that there's a difference between regaining health and just being healthy in general. I think that's the two concepts I'm going for. In my mind, the Gastro-mancer, the way you've been explaining it to me, the way I've been understanding it, hopefully I'm correct, is that you meant this would be a class. It does healing in the sense that it keeps everybody healthy. It doesn't necessarily in combat snap a finger and everyone gets health back.
Yeah. So you will already have a spell list by the time you're 6th level. And then the 6th level's feature expands your spell list. And that is retroactive. That means that
then you get if you didn't actually want level 1 purify food and drink, for example, now then
you need to either decide at 6th level I'm going to learn low level spells as your two spells for that level, or you need to find them in game. And that's what I like about locking
they're not the focus of it, yeah.
Well, not locking it, but making it the 6th level feature instead of any other 6th level feature. Again, this is not a new idea. There was an Unearthed Arcana that full out at 2nd level, if I'm not mistaken, just gave you access to the cleric spell list as well to pick from. I can't remember its name. I will go look it up when I'm not very distracted trying to get this wording right. So the last and final function of the arcane cutlery is that the golden time you spend to copy spells is halved if you instead spend the time, the gold and time.
Yeah, at some point, would you mind logging into the Fancy Grounds server so you could eventually copy the stuff? You don't have to do it now, but copy the stuff over to the class there. I've got a class ready for you to fiddle with.
Okay, cool. I will quickly do so.
While you're logging in, I'm gonna quickly run you past the preliminary version 1 version of this expanded spell list. Okay. So cantrips, guidance, and resistance.
Okay, cool.
Level 1.
Okay, resistance. Okay, well, yes, carry on.
Yeah, I mean we can figure this out. Oh yeah, okay. Level 1, purify food and drink. Okay, there's more than 2 here, but I mean this is me just throwing things at the ball. So, level 1, purify food and drink. Good berry. Ceremony, maybe. Then because the moment you start involving food and the power of food, you need to consider the importance of sitting down for a meal. A round table meal is a ceremony in itself. Anyway, moving on. What's this? Final Fantasy
Resistance in 2022.
Final Fantasy and the Dark Souls were the only reason I played PlayStation. Oh yeah. Next up, we've got level 2 spells, Lesser Restoration, and Zone of Truth. Zone of Truth, man. If you're well fed, you're going to start talking. Anyway, that's why. Also, if mom comes at you with a rolling pin, you're gonna start chatting.
Fair enough.
Anyways, level 3, create food and water, straight up, and then
of hope.
Yeah, I read Bacon of Hope. Sorry.
Hey, listen. That's the beauty of it.
I'm gonna make a
hope. It can literally be Bacon of Hope instead of
the Bacon of Hope.
You just raise your Bacon of Hope, and then you create an aura of hope.
This is essentially this entire subclass will be if Epic Mealtime played D&D. But anyway, moving on. Level 4 spell, Death Ward, and Aura of Purity. Aura of Purity, you and I already went it over. It makes sense. Death Ward, I like that one just because, well, just the naming. But what does it do, actually? It's a cleric-focused spell originally, and...
Death Ward is the
it
spell
want me to
that
drop to
lasts
0.
8 hours. Yeah, it's the spell that lasts 8 hours.
See
it's
this.
not concentration, and it
This.
literally just pops you back to 1 hit point when you drop to 0.
This is the kind of thing I would have loved that the feat chef gave you. Just the spell. It's high level, but if I had this a wonderful feast to offer my friends, and it's just good food, food so good that when you drop down, your body can, you're fine for a moment,
For the ice bar!
I can't die.
And you climb
I can't die. Dominic's making s'mores tonight.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, that's my idea behind Death Ward. Okay, then level 5. Greater Restoration. I mean, the entire restoration range for me just makes sense here.
Yes.
Then Animate Objects. Now, my reasoning behind Animate Objects is very simple. Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, now I get you. It makes sense.
I don't think it's perfect.
Wizard spell list, though.
Fuck. Yes, I think you're right.
Animate Objects is
It is
available
definitely.
to the Bard, Sorcerer, Wizard, Artificer, and Forge domain.
Bupkus. Okay, well, I need another level 5 spell then.
Okay, let me look it up quickly.
Insect Plague, that'll work. Heaps of bacon, yeah.
Anti-life Shell.
Okay. How do you get from salt to anti-life spell? Add water. 2-minute noodles, man. 2-minute noodles.
2-minute noodles.
I like gears just because it looks like gas.
I think it's also already on the wizard list.
No, I know. It's just the spell Good and Evil is an option.
It is
because it's cleric and paladin. Legend lore is also there, but that wizards can do that already. Planar Binding, I think, is also it's already. Mass Cure Wounds.
That could be a good one. I think we want to go with the cure spells. We haven't got any cure spells actually so far on the list.
Exactly. No, I mean that. I'm going for the restoration stuff.
Yeah. So I say
like Mass Cure Wounds.
I say tentatively we just add 2 spells to every for every level so far, but we've already got 3 at level 1.
Yeah, but
I don't want to get rid of any of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we don't have to. I mean, this is our class.
We could, yeah.
Moving on for now. Okay, so level 6, I've got the one I want, Hero's Feast.
Yes.
Man, yes. Just makes sense.
Obviously,
it's the quintessential cooking spell.
Yep, it is.
And then next to that, I've got Heal, just the spell Heal, which choose a creature, and it can be upcast, and it heals people for quite a lot of hit points. And it also ends some effects like blindness, deafness, disease. Makes sense. Okay, level 7, Resurrection. Cool. And Regenerate.
The wizard that can resurrect.
Yeah, because why the hell not? Anyway, that's how we get liches, my man. That's how we. Anyway, then level 8, I've got 3 possible spells. Glibness. Yeah. So basically, it's again, it's the same idea of Zone of Truth. Good food makes you talk. Then I've also got Animal Shapes. I will admit, I don't care what the spell does. I just saw that and thought Dino Nuggies.
Dino Nuggies?
Yeah, Dino... like, Dino Nuggets. Animal cookies, yes,
Animal
exactly.
That's okay, cool... I don't... I'll admit, I don't actually know what Animal Shapes does.
Me neither. I just... What the fuck? I like the idea of
Animal
this guy,
shapes.
of this wizard just trying to make magical cookies and then accidentally
Your
letting it
magic
cast
turns
spell.
others into beasts. Choose any number of willing creatures that you can see within range. You transform each target into the form of a large or smaller beast, with a
The
challenge
cook.
rating of 4 or lower. On subsequent turns, you can use your action to transform affected creatures into new forms. The transformation lasts for the duration for each target or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies. You can choose a different form for each target. A target's game statistics are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast, though the target retains its alignment and intelligence, wisdom, and charisma score. Oh wow, this overcomes the limitation of polymorph. The target assumes the hit points of its new form, and when it reverts to its normal form, it returns to the number of hit points it had before it transformed. So this is a superior version of polymorph. I just want to, yeah. It unfortunately only works on willing creatures, so you can't prepare a feast for your like villainous
Now,
captors
it
and then have
doesn't
them all turn
say.
into
It
into
doesn't
animals.
say. So
Mm.
I would
Oh, there goes
say
my
that'll
power.
be a will save. Are you on load shedding now?
Yes, but
Okay,
it's
what are
okay.
you?
We've got backup.
Okay, wonderful. By the way, yeah.
Yes.
Your I'll talk about a dice in a second. I
Oh,
just
the
remember that.
dice. Yes.
Yes. I'm not painting them opaque.
Mm.
I played around a little bit with how to do the lettering. So
Mm.
instead of trying to do the lettering with the psycho brush from, because I've got one of the psycho brushes from war painting,
Mm.
it works well. I wouldn't say the effect is bad, but instead of doing that, I am painting like filling in the letter gap with acrylic paint before I start the sanding process, so
Mm-hmm.
that the paint is there already by the time I do the sanding. So and then when you start polishing it, you should see what it starts to look like. It really shines.
Ah,
I've got
yes.
one technically done, but yes, you still owe me a dice, by the way.
Yeah, I do.
Anyways, back to it. Okay, I'm gonna leave animal shapes there. It just makes sense then.
Yeah, no, it and then glibness.
The other one was weather control. Now, hear me out. I,
Control
I'm a have a moment.
is already available to wizards, so it's fine.
Motherfucker. Shit. Okay. Damn it! I just saw it and thought I was going to be clever. No. The reason I want control weather is because you can't pry if it's raining.
You can't bribe if it's raining. Um, if we do need another level 8 spell, Holy Aura is the only other one I can see that's.
Yeah, but okay, we've got auras already. Then level 9, I've got 4 possibilities here. Mass heal, which is evocation magic.
Yes.
Up to 7 resource, up to 700 hit points divided
It's
as you
the
choose.
mass version of the heal spell.
Then there is
What if you
if you make a big enough fire, yeah, I guess that it doesn't matter.
Wizards are already good at making fires. We don't need to.
Yeah, so we don't need to do weather control. I am the weather. Power word heal, which is a bard spell. A wave of healing energy washes over the creature you touch. The target. Oh, I hate that. It's a word. Word. It's not power touch heal. It's word heal. Anyway, focus. Sorry, I've lost characters because of that confusion. The target regains all its hit points if the creature is charmed, frightened, paralyzed, or stunned. Condition goes away. Okay, so you basically tap someone on the shoulder and say, "Hey man, it's got more of fit cook mark." And then and then we go to power word. Okay, so the other two I saw here that I've got no idea if they'll work or not. Is true resurrection, because we got resurrection earlier as well. And gate.
I think gate's already on the wizards.
I'll double check.
Double check. Yes, it's already on the wizard.
Okay, well then gate is disqualified. I had faulty information. Then true resurrection is the only one that remains. Then so mass heal, power word heal, and true fuck, the expensive one.
The expensive one.
Because through resurrection, you just need the memory of the person. It's the literal spell version of as long as we've got you in our hearts.
Once.
I remember him. He
We are
hated
gathered here today
in the memory of,
to
oh God, he's
commemorate.
back. No, no, you stay
Oh
down.
Lord. Yeah.
It's like that meme of it's an old joke, but now with the Queen
The
recently
higher
died.
I realized, like from level 7 and up, the higher the spells, the fewer there are that aren't already available to wizards.
Yeah, because wizards are the quintessential spellcaster, so it makes sense.
Hmm. Like
Okay,
I
well,
like that question that got asked in our group today about which would you prefer, warlock, wizard, or sorcerer? And the first answer is warlock, and then sorcerer, and then I'm just like, wizard. You can learn more spells, and also Mordenkainen, Tasha, Leomund, Tensor, Bigby. All the named spells are name a single character from D&D's history that is a sorcerer, like a named sorcerer that you can recall.
oh, I have no idea.
Neither can I. I can't, off the top of my head, name a single sorcerer from
Ja-
D&D's history.
to be fair
I
though,
could go and Google it,
James is much better with that lore than I am, and you are as
but
well.
yes. I could go and Google it, certainly, and I'm certain that some of them, I know that Hadar, Hunger of Hadar, I think Hadar was a warlock. So that one's not a wizard. But anyways, the golden time you must spend to copy spells is halved if you instead spend the golden time. I want to say if it is instead spent cooking. If the time and resources are instead spent cooking. If the time and resources are instead spent. So what's very interesting about this feature?
Oh, hey, I think we're missing someone.
We are.
Well, Delina. Okay, I'm just going off the wiki here. Delina was a moon elf or wild mage.
Mm-hmm.
From Baldur's Gate, but this is old. Oh, that's not that old. Sorry, the rule it's from 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this from? This is from a comic book series. Anyway. Then there is they come up in like media a lot more. Okay, so sorcerers come up a lot in Magic the Gathering. That's to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And because these worlds have not crossed over, that kind of makes. They say here, okay, notable sorcerers. There are only 4 on the Forgotten Realms wiki. Holy crap! There's the Lina, a wild mage sorcerer from Baldur's Gate. Uh, Emirikol, a planeswalker that traveled far and wide across the multiverse. Pelgolos, the joyful bronze dragon of the Thunder Peaks. Okay, Pelgolos. I should click on him and see. Yes, and it's an actual dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cheating, but okay. On. Then there is the symbol, one of the 7 sisters of the Queen of
Aaron
Aglarond.
Darkness. Oh, Aglarond.
So the symbol, yeah. So this is more older. This is older lore. This is from 2nd and 3rd edition. So there we go. The symbol.
That's very, very, very obscure.
Yeah, the 7 sisters. Yeah, that's obscure,
Yeah.
but still,
The Seven Sisters aren't that obscure, but yes.
for me, it's a little bit. I mean, I did. To be fair, though, is I didn't spend nearly as much time reading the books in Baldur's Gate as you did.
But yeah, I mean, Laurel Silverhand is one of the Seven Sisters.
I see here.
So it's relevant to today's 5th edition. So
Shame. However, they've turned her into a glorified. What's the thing?
I don't know what you.
She'd be.
I know that
L'Oreal
she's the
Silverhand is a.
open.
Yeah, she's just a glorified mayor.
Oh yeah, she's the Open Lord.
Yep.
After what's his name? No, Mr. in charge of Neverwinter. Neverember, there is. I nearly said Nasha Lagonda. That's the original Lord of Neverwinter.
The guy that ran it during the spell plague, you mean? Oh.
I, I don't know when he died. I know that he was the ruler. He was the founder and ruler of Neverwinter in the Neverwinter Nights games, the games.
He be dead. Oh,
Yeah, he'd be
he be
dead
dead
now.
now.
But the Alagondas are still around. I know that Never Ember has got a network of people trying to hush anyone with the Alagonda bloodline because they still claim rights to the throne of Neverwinter. Where was I? Oh yes, I got distracted again. I was going to extol the virtues of this feature and how brilliant it is. So the original wizardly quill of the Order of Scribes allowed you to scribe things. It allowed you to copy things into your spell book. It only took 2 minutes per spell level instead of the original amount of time it would take to copy things. But it didn't uh, give you any monetary benefit. Whereas every single other class gives you must the golden time you spend to copy spells of that class is halved. The Gastro-mancer, now this I will fully admit is something that I've wanted for a very long time, does that concept but for all spells. The golden time you must spend to copy spells is halved if you instead spend the time and resources. If the time, sorry, if the time and resources are instead spent cooking. You follow?
Yeah, carry on.
Halved if you instead spend, if fix this, if instead time and the golden time you spend to copy spells is halved if instead the time and resources are spent cooking. So it's just like it's the best class for scribing
The chef's feat.
scrolls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense because you're constantly writing down your recipes.
Yeah. I mean, it's slower than the Order of Scribes when it comes to actually scribing the scrolls, but cheaper than any other subclass because you're using food instead of actual like ink and parchment. At least that's
Makes
my
sense.
reasoning.
Yeah, I like it.
Time and resource.
Yeah, it's
Let's see.
cooking utensil. Cookbook. I need
Okay.
to
The
create a new one here for cookbook as well.
spell disappears if you create another one or if you die. Uh, this
Mm. I'm creating blank entries on the item, well, on the character or on the class on Fancy Grounds, so you can.
I don't think as a player I can actually edit things on that end.
Fair enough. I don't think. Yeah, I
But
can't.
I can copy what I've written into note form, and you can
Yeah,
copy the
that'll be helpful. But yeah, I'm creating the blanks for cooking utensil, cookbook, and what was the third? We haven't decided on the third thing yet. It's level 6
uh
feature.
no, yeah, so we haven't decided a name for it. It's the uh for now we'll just call it expanded spell list because that is what it is.
Fair enough.
Um
And cookbook.
arcane cutlery. And then I've created a note and I'll just copy what I have written. And
Whoopsie. This is obviously not gonna work. Not work well anyway. Here we go. Cookbook, and this is gonna be.
V.
Uh,
I'll need formatting because this format it doesn't copy.
yeah, formatting. There are extensions you can install to help your formatting out, but in general, yeah, no, it's not the best. Let's have a look here. There is cooking utensils. Okay, cooking utensils I have now open. It's Gastro-mancer. Wonderful. Then, the next, the third one
Why
was going to
didn't
be
you call it
manifest.
the brilliant name I came up with?
Which one?
arcane cutlery. That's what the feature is called.
Oh, apologies. Sorry.
This
I
utensil disappears. Yes, this is much my
I don't
arcane
know if I spelled
cutlery.
cutlery correctly, but c'est la vie.
You spell it wrong.
Uh,
Yeah, you spelled it correctly, so don't worry.
wonderful. Manifest
Okay, I've
mind.
created a note for it. The notes section.
Sweet. Is this the manifest mind? Conjure a mind. Yeah. Okay. So this needs to. I'll quickly. Oop. See. Bug. Windows Server X load. No, thank you. So look here. You are manifest mind, but you aren't manifest mind. So ciao. Okay, this needs. Bye. Goodbye. There. It's unlocked. So number 6 goes here. Manifest mind. Okay, so I have no idea what it is. Cooking utensil is now arcane cutlery. Just gonna quickly rename that. There we go.
Save changes. Yes, but I'm building this on D&D Beyond as well. So to those of
obviously.
you more inclined to the D&D Beyond things, I will eventually publish this. I just need some good flavor text for the description, which I'll come up with later.
Master Scrivener. Master Scrivener. Baker. Alright, there we go. Okay, so this needs to be placed. Come on. Master Baker. There we go. So. Bam, bam. Perfect. And this is at level 10. Yeah, creating things here in the in Fancy Grounds proper. It's actually very straightforward. I mean, once you've got it going, and then it codes and adds stuff in. But yes, takes a little bit getting used to sometimes. Order of scribe specialization. Oh.
Sure. Coding.
Awesome. So the
It's also very
specialization is
interesting.
there. This is specialization choice. This is specialization requirements. Gastro-mancer. I can't remember where the spec choice comes in. It's in Fancy Grounds. Basically, there's a tick box. You click
it's when I don't know. I think it's when there's a choice to be made. You create two more options, and then for every option that's ticked, I can't remember. I figured it out.
No,
I think
I got it. No, okay, got it. It's under arcane tradition. Basically, you tell them that you reroute the option to tell it. Okay, go look at the specialization list and have the player select from there. But that is it for now. Okay, let me quickly. I've got Master Baker is level 10. We don't know if that's what we're calling it yet. Then Signature Dish is the 14th level's doodle that I need to still out here. Signature Dish. Signature Dish. It's a signature dish.
Alrighty. So
fried eggs.
We've got arcane utensil created. Now we're going to the other ability, which we named cookbook for level 2. So we want this to be a book of recipes.
Pretty much.
While you are holding your awakened spellbook, it grants you the following benefits. Using especially connotations, yada yada. You can use the book as a spellcasting focus. That I switched from the book over to the utensil because I want the actual ladle or rolling pin or spatula, whichever you prefer. Wooden spoon, whichever your arcane your chef's proficient tool is. I want that to be the arcane focus, not the actual cookbook. So that feature needs to be replaced with something. When you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot, you can
With a
temporarily replace
splot.
its. It's
Anyway,
it's
sorry.
contraction. It's a contraction. It's when you cast a wizard
No
spell with a
judgment here.
slot, you can temporarily replace the damage type with another that appears in their spell slot, which magically alters the spell's formula for the casting only. The latter spell must be of the same level as the spell slot you expand.
I
Um,
didn't catch any of that now because I'm too my brain is all wavy.
your brain is all wavy.
It's all smooth today. It's all smooth.
Okay, so I really want there to be a straightforward mechanic here that
with the
involves.
cookbook. But currently, because we're basing this on the order of scribes, right? I'm gonna
Yes.
create you a note in
Yes.
this is gonna be for cookbook. Um,
Yes.
okay, so I'm gonna share a note to you in Fancy Grounds. This is the current wording for the order of the scribe spellbook. There you go.
Hmm.
Now you can fiddle with that as you work.
Well, I have the wording here as well.
No, I know, but I mean, then you don't have to type everything manually over. It's not you. I mean, do it in D&D Beyond, and then let me know.
Oh, I don't have to type everything manually over, anyways.
Ah, humbug.
the,
Smooth brain
the,
tonight.
the editor for editing subclasses on D&D Beyond is very competent. I'm already basically just editing the existing
While you're
text.
holding the book, I want you to follow. So yeah, basically, you'll just be rewording some of the description, and then you
Hmm.
still wanted to give free benefits.
Yeah, I don't want to. I want to try and lean into some of the other classes, maybe something like the abjuration or transmutation school's abilities, because it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the same sort of bullet list thing as the Order of Scribes. Um.
So okay, no, fair enough. And just that's more of a practical question. The
Hmm.
thought that I had was then what do you want the book then to do? What does the cookbook offer? The I mean, it's essentially their spell book. So
It is so. I want there to be a function where you essentially can create temporary hits. Um, I'm actually
okay,
now starting to think we do need to include cure wounds and word healing word. Sorry, my brain. I think I want to include cure wounds and healing word into the expanded spell list. I know it's a sixth levels feature, but the reason being I want. Ah,
ceremony. I'll remove ceremony then. That doesn't really make sense. Well,
I
no, ceremony makes sense. I'm just gonna add in cure wounds for now.
okay.
Look, it expands your spell list. Yes, it's a lot of spells, but it's not. But you have to go back and learn them. It's just
Yeah,
available for you to learn. You're not getting them.
but the reason I'm experiencing a conundrum now is because I wanted to incorporate a feature whereby if you do healing, um, you can do extra healing, or you can include temporary HP on top of whatever you do. But at this level, you won't actually have any healing spells unless you have some extra feature from
Yeah,
grace or what
it's
have you.
gonna be a little bit counterintuitive to build a class that
Hmm.
only gets one of its core abilities at level 6.
Hmm.
Fifth edition needs to, or fifth edition at least, runs a bit faster than that.
Hmm. No, I mean, I still think that the expanded spell list needs to stay at sixth level. I just need to then think of a. I need to think of a function at perhaps
What
there isn't.
the
Hmm.
temporary point idea? It just gets added, but that's not the core. It's a nice extra for someone to
Hmm.
explore with, but it's not the core thing of the book. Um,
Hmm.
okay, so let me rapid fire some ideas of the book.
Cool.
It's
Cool.
a
Cool.
cookbook,
Yes.
so cookbooks. There's gonna be recipes, so there's gonna be cookbooks, especially in this day. Even today, if you're running around a cookbook, very often, if it's something you're carrying around with you, it's
Mm.
usually a generational thing or something that you got from somewhere that has notes in it. So, um, I would argue that there might be notes in it from previous cooks. Maybe
Mm.
things along. It's unique to you, but it allows you to draw. Maybe once a day, you can use it to get advantage on a wisdom-based check. That's an idea. So
Mm.
another idea for it would be ADV whiz check. Another idea would be that it getting choosing this as a feature. You get this at when do you get this? Which level do you get this? Level 2.
Yes.
Choosing this as a feature um, could automatically give you the chef's feat. Um, so or something along the line. So chef feat as an idea.
I
Um,
like it, but at the same time, I don't. I want the chef's
or
feat to
or not a
be a feat you can pick when you play this
okay,
class,
makes
and
sense.
it's
Okay.
and it plays well with the class. It doesn't. The class doesn't make the feat redundant. Um.
Another thing that it could be is that because it now doubles as a spell,
Mm.
it allows you to because it's a cookbook, and people modify it, modify recipes. You can some sort of mechanic, some sort of mech, to alter spell components.
Yes.
So basically, oh, this required dust of something. Okay, but
Mm.
this recipe book tells me that should be able to I can substitute nutmeg for a little bit of leek, or
Mm.
maybe some peanuts. Oh, I don't know. That's a
Or
bad
this is
example.
where I could, like I said, it doesn't have to be three separate features. That's because that's kind of my brain is going. I three dish, yeah. Three things, yes. It
Oh
the
no, no, I'm
dust
not
of
going for three thing. I'm just like throwing things at.
the dust of deliciousness. Uh, the it can be sprinkled over any edible substance to greatly improve the flavor. The dust also dulls the eater's senses. Anyone eating food treated with this dust has a disadvantage on wisdom ability checks and wisdom saving throws for 1 hour. There is enough dust to flavor 6 servings.
What dust is this?
It's from the Explorer's Guide to Wild Mode.
Oh,
But what if it's a feature when you okay. I'll get to that just now. Let me first finish my original thought. When you cook food, it doesn't have to be tied to your spells. When you cook food, because it is while you are holding this book, it grants you the following benefits. Any food you cook, no, no, it's not going to work. I don't like it. I could turn it into a feature, but I don't like it. I don't like the idea of trying to create a feature that if you cook food, you can people who eat it gain disadvantage on ability on wisdom saves. That's nifty if you want to try and like
I
debuff
uh,
enemies, but
true, but I instead of
no.
but making that a class feature, that's the reason I chose things like Zone of Truth. I understand where you're coming from, but that's
Mm,
why I choose things like Zone of Truth and Glibness as spells for this class. So I'd
mm.
rather solve that just through a straightforward spell, and then you can flavor it that it's part of
Yeah,
a
but no,
food.
the disadvantage on wisdom saves means that those spells work better. Anyways,
Obviously, no, no, that makes sense. Okay,
no, the
let me
other
rapid fire a few
light bulb
more.
moment. Okay,
Yeah, go, go, go.
my light bulb moment was rituals.
Okay,
Uh, you can use this book. Any ritual spells cast from this book only take no. I want
I like the
something
idea of
about
I,
rituals
look. I like.
and
Okay,
cooking.
so here's an idea. Ritual
Yes. Okay.
spell, ritual spells cost. If you're is again, I'm just gonna rapid fire some stuff with rituals. So here's an idea. Group meals. So
Mm,
the idea being that if you're going to be casting a ritual spell, if you're casting a ritual spell, you know. In a, like a camping setting, oh,
mm,
everyone's sitting around, everyone's making like around the campfire. You're making food. Everyone's relaxed. There's not it's not a you're not under duress is the nice keyword here. You're not being
mhm.
attacked. You're resting and you're making food. You know, or codifying it a bit different. If you're just among friends and you're not currently under attack, that'll count as a group. Ritual spells, you can cast ritual spells a lot faster, for example, or they have a more powerful effect. Another idea behind ritual spells could be that you can turn there's certain spells you can turn into ritual spells that aren't ritual spells.
Yes.
So converting certain spells into ritual spells. So that's an option. So for example, if you could,
Yes.
for example, if I could ritually cast what power for example, power word to heal. If I could ritually cast that over 10 minutes, as long as I've got this cookbook.
So
That's
here's
very
pitch.
very powerful. There needs to be some sort of balance.
Here's the pitch for the balance of that mechanic.
Okay, I got you.
So you can cast any spell as a ritual, once a day, once per long rest. Just any spell. The original Order of the Scribes Awakened spellbook allowed you to cast any ritual spell as an action once per day. This one allows you to cast any spell as a ritual once per day.
Oh, once a day. That's brilliant. It balances out automatically.
Yeah, you can cast any spell as a ritual once per long rest. Once per.
Okay, I'll leave the specific wording to you. Because you're going to paste it over to the fancy grounds anyway. Okay, so that's one idea. What's the other ideas we have for this? Okay, so I love that. That's actually super flippin' cool. Other things that cookbooks do. You know what's something that cookbooks do in real life? If you were like me, right? Well, for me at least, when I walked into the kitchen and I saw my mom had actually taken out the cookbook, I knew there was some sort of special event coming. So there's anticipation. I don't know if you want to codify that into something. Anticipation. So that's another one. What's the other one? Odd thing that cookbooks were sometimes used for was to it can help you connect with your ancestors. That's kind of what you might have missed it now, God of Moxie. I actually had I had a suggestion that maybe because the cookbook might have like notes from your nan that says you should use 2 pinches of salt here instead of 9. It works better. So less salty. My point is this: that you get there's something to some sort of mechanic with wisdom saves or checks, wisdom saves, etc. Anyway, that's an idea. Another idea was sometimes cookbooks are okay. If you grew up in the Platteland, very often cookbooks would be used to press flowers.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, any big book would have been used, but yes.
Exactly, but something that that was lying around in the kitchen at time of acquisition of flour, would be there. That's a flour pressing. These are just thoughts. Pressing. What's another idea I can come up with?
I really like the concept of the wisdom saves, but I don't know how to incorporate it so that it's simple, elegant, and not too powerful.
Another thing we could do is we could look into
I know what the 10th level feature is, by the way.
We could incorporate a spellbook into give it some sort of connection to medicine checks, because food is medicine. If you've lived any amount of time in a bookshop in the last 2-3 years in South Africa, you'd know about the God's Pharmacy book. What's this? I like the flower pressing. Need more botanical classes that are not druid. That's actually a bloody good point. We need to create a non-druid druid.
It can be an artificer based around flowers.
Yeah, you're basically just running around with spray bottles.
Botificer. The botificer?
No.
What the horticulturist.
Here we go. Yes. Oh god. Okay. Well, I'm gonna. We're not gonna.
We're getting off topic. I don't think that that's in the scope of this build.
No, it's not the scope of this build, but we now know what our next build. Anyway,
The
so
horticultural.
imagine it's like this guy running in with like a magical crossbow, going "You there?" and then pew, 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 and he shoots twigs
Have
into you
you
that turn into
seen
twig blights.
have you seen that new anime that came out about the guy that shoots arrows and then mushrooms sprout? I
No,
can't
I have
remember its
not.
name now. I watched like half the entire anime. It was
How do
kind
I
of cool
even start
actually.
googling this?
I don't remember its name at all.
Mush-
I don't.
Mushroom
Rust eater, that's
arrow.
its name, rust eater, because there's a specific type of fungus that eats rust, and there was some cataclysm that started like a rusting disease in people. Like they
Okay,
would
well,
start
I'm getting
rusting.
industrial. Rust Eater anime. There we go.
Yes,
I have
rust eater.
not watched this.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I didn't finish it, but yeah, he shoots arrows and then different types of fungus and mushroom grow. It's really fun, actually. Um,
Interesting.
mm, much to do about nothing. Cast a spell as a ritual once per. If a creature has eaten, if if a creature has a recipe from this book,
This is a...
has eaten any, I want big trick is actually just trying to get wording that sounds like it's in line with Wizard Coast's legal.
Oh,
If a
yeah.
creature, if a creature has eaten food you have made in the last,
Oh, something we could include here is that
if a creature,
swallow mechanic. So some creatures like giant lizard can actually and certain like the basilisk I think can swallow heroes, medium-sized creatures. So it could be
not the
that you...
basilisk, but the froghemoth.
Oh yeah, but anyway, the point is that maybe a mechanic that allows you to, you know, regurgitate, you forcefully regurgitate. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um, you've paged to the back of the book and you find the small packet of spice that your gran left you in case of
Okay.
emergencies nearby, and then splash it into their nose.
um,
Yeah, I can see that. That's a pretty
end
crazy
of your
anime. I just
short
watched a clip or two
rest.
quickly on the side.
Rest.
I recently, by the way, God of Moxie, I recently watched. Yesterday I finished the Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners anime on Netflix. Um, that was a really good show. I love the animation style. And it just made me sent me down a small rabbit hole of Pinterest images and augmentations. Also, I went and looked at augmentation in Starfinder, and unless it's in the extended rules, there isn't this, like cyberpsychosis in or a mechanic for that in Starfinder, so you can just augment yourself. To be fair, though, in Starfinder you can't augment yourself to infinitum. There's only a few things you can augment. You can count your belly as a temp. Oh, hey, I like this one. Here's a cool idea from God of Moxie. You can count your belly as a temporary bag of holding.
Good lord. That
That's
one's
really cool.
that's really cool, but not where I want to go. It's a
Oh,
bit.
come on! Stomach pouch.
Sorry. No. Sorry. No. No. It's a very cool idea, but it's very chowder. It's very you consume something, and I just know it's gonna end up being a problem in gameplay with players asking if I consume this, what then? And if this,
Oh, yeah.
then that. And I'm not against it, but
Yeah, I could make it a body horror.
no.
Yummy.
I have other plans. My plans are slowly formulating to
Slow cook. What about the mechanic that allows you to or pressure cook. It's like a keyword. Slow cook / pressure cook. Pressure cook. What about this? So as a random idea, slow cook or pressure cook. It's another thing. Instead of now, you can once per long rest, for example, you can change. You can extend the. You can delay a spell's casting time. In other words, you can have a spell go off a round later, but then you increase its damage or its healing or something like that. But yeah, so that's an idea. I'm not saying we have to include it. It might not fit here, but it's something we could look at.
It is an idea. I do like it. I do actually like that one.
What else? What else? What else?
But it doesn't make sense for the cookbook to have that function. Not really, unless you.
You're not
I
trying hard
need it.
enough.
No, 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 no.
I'm joking.
You.
No, I'm just
The
thinking of the
cookbook,
spot with a
then
book on top of it.
you're making the spell into like a food then, and delaying the spells. But that is the feature I want for level 10.
Look, to be fair, this entire thing feels like building a subclass from Monster Hunter.
Oh, it does. Interesting.
Monster Hunter has a massive cooking mechanic as part of the game. It forms
interesting.
It forms a big, because the thing is, Monster Hunter, the game, you're not just mindlessly hunting monsters. You are just a hunter for a village, and a big part of what your job in the society is to bring in food. That's it. You're just a normal hunter. You're not like, and it just happens that the things you're fighting are half the time freaking megafauna, but it's just fauna. It's that can sometimes really quickly kill you, but yeah. Yeah, prepping is 50%. Prepping or to hunt, 50% of hunting in one. In a Monster Hunter, you literally have to spend. If you're going to go hunt a monster, you have to spend a lot of time beforehand, checking out, like reading the lore entry about the monster, checking that your armor matches what this monster is gonna do, seeing if they've got any small things, like maybe there's something they can eat that slows them or sleeps them or something. Okay, cool. Now, and where do I find that? What's their favorite food? Not just because you can leave food out for them to eat, but you can actually, if you know what their favorite food is, you know which packs of other creatures to follow to find your prey. And this is all from a game that came out like in the early 2000s on like PlayStation 2 and PSP back then. I played it on PSP a while, but good lord, if you thought Dark Souls was hard, no, good lord, this is hard and explains what you need to do. But a very fun part of the game was coming back with like rare meat, and then there in each town or settlement there's usually these little cat creatures. They're part of society. They're sentient, but they're specialized in food. They just bake and cook, and there are these beautiful animations from, I think, Konami that makes the game, that show them like cooking and presenting these beautiful meals. So yeah, I would suggest, I would have shown it on stream now, but I think I might get that. I can't really. But yeah, no. If you want to look into like like the cooking and stuff, also the cooking itself is a mechanic. You have to like choose what you cook, and then there's usually a fire thing, and then there's like a quick time mechanic where you have to remove and add the things back to the fire at the correct times to not burn the meat or undercook the meat. And then when you eat well cooked meals, you get massive bonuses to your health and your stamina and your resistances. So come to think of it, yeah, Monster Hunter is basically Gastromancy with violence.
D&D has violence.
We just don't have Gastromancy yet.
Ram, I can't say that word.
Grammuster.
Rammauster.
Mew.
Proud and honorable.
Grammuster. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Quickly Google
End
that.
of the short rest.
Yeah, a Grammuster chef is the Feline chef that lives in the Delania background, formerly member of the First Fleet. Yeah, so yeah, it's a tradition. They're cat chefs. But yes, these cats, by the way, they pride in good food. That's all they really want to do in life. And if you can bring them back rare meat and stuff, they're really, really happy to help. It's not part of the class, but a big part of cooking is also, especially in like a more fantasy setting, would be acquiring ingredients.
Well,
Like
yeah,
so
that.
in Hunter x Hunter, the cooking
Mm,
hunters, I mean, that's why they can fight. That's their reason for why they have high level skills, because they
mm,
need to go for the rarest ingredients. So maybe this book can help survival roles.
hmm.
Again, I'm just throwing things at the wall here.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to go into the book. I'm just adding things to the list. Um, Another thing it could do is maybe and this is now a bit more cosmopolitan. Let's move away from wilderness for a second. Let's go back into cities like Baldur's Gate. Cosmopolitan. There are taverns on every corner. There are people in the sewers running around.
Mm-hmm.
We've got factions against each other. But one of the things that all these groups have in common, they all eat. So
Mm.
taverns, everyone from the open lord and the secret lords, all the way down to the basements, where, with Xanathar, you're gonna find a tavern somewhere, and maybe you can something to do with finding out. You do your best information gathering in taverns, so some sort of tavern
Mm-hmm.
mechanic,
Mm.
like the fighter. Not I think it's the fighter gets that. No, it's a no, it's not a fighter. It's a background. Folk hero,
Mm.
where you have let me read it real quick. I think you know what I'm talking about. You've got something of ability called rustic hospitality, which says
Mm.
that since basically that because you're like a folk hero, whenever you meet commoners, by default they'll help you or
Mm.
shelter you, unless it's very dangerous to themselves.
The,
But
the big That's all great flavor. The big problem with those is its flavor. Without solid mechanics, unless you have a good roleplay group, I want the class to be agnostic and I want the class to work for any group that picks it up if they do decide to.
oh, no, no, no,
Um,
sure.
so
I know.
so I love adding great flavor stuff, but without solid, like, here's the mechanic, it gives you a D4 on persuasion rolls, then it's very hard to make pure flavor
No,
feel
no, I
beneficial.
understand. This is just throwing at the wall. If there's something you
Currently,
like, we
I'm
can dig into
currently I'm
and
working on a thing, continuing off of the rituals. So you can cast any spell as a ritual once per long rest, and if you
okay.
cast a ritual spell, you gain a number of temporary hit points, a number of temp or
Oh, I see. You're building on top of that further.
hit points.
Cat chef.
Um, full, uh, uh, where was my train of thought? I was basing to your proficiency bonus plus your pro
Your proficiencies.
proficiency bonus plus your intelligence mod.
Do you think we should include a pistol and Baba Yaga's pistol and mortar as a vehicle for this class?
um, um,
I have Newt.
I know
Where's my
that that's like
pistol?
the I know that's like the ultimate magical item for this class, but no. I'm not
Oh,
including it for free.
come on.
I mean, oh no. Whenever you cast a ritual spell, you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I want to actually, um I think I'm going to leave it at these two functions. and then maybe revisit the function of you can cast a spell as a ritual once per long rest, and maybe say you can cast a number of spells equal to your intelligence modifier as a ritual once per. Yeah, I might that. That's a very powerful feature, though. No, I'm going to leave it as is for now.
You can always do you play test it and see.
Yeah, if necessary, replace the book over
Okay, but
after a
that's pretty
short
much
rest.
then, you know, the book is already a spell book, and just having the ritual mechanic that maybe gives you some extra health, and when you do that, that alone, just simple, easy to remember, it works well. I do agree. The healing you might feel is a little bit overpowered, but considering that the normal
No. The healing's not overpowered. I wanted to increase because it's only 2 features compared to the previous 3.
Oh no, but I mean, considering the amount of look, it's only 2 things with the spell book, but this is a wizard that can heal. So I think that balances out a little bit. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's fine where it is right now. We'll pass the text so we can add it into the cookbook on the fancy grounds.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut out my stuff.
I haven't finished. I finished rewriting the flavor text.
Oh.
Flavor. I say flavor. It says that
Well,
using specially prepared inks and ancient incantations
well,
passed
pop
down.
that my way. I'll do some flavor writing since that's more what I'm focusing on right now anyway.
Okay, cool.
Which is really good. Yeah, no, exactly. A wizard can heal is really good. It's honestly something that we've had a talk back and forth about before previously. It makes no sense that a wizard that understands the weave very well wouldn't be able to knit close wounds, which is kind of the argument that Eberron makes in general. It's like a mage right is someone that doesn't have any serious god, but they can run into battle and cure a wound. Because they've got this one spell. But anyway. Right. Let me know when you've got the notes pasted.
I will. Just now very cramped.
Especially since necromancers exist. Absolutely. I mean, you can get wizards that can steal life. Why can't you get wizards that give life? To an extent.
Okay. Cookbook in the notes.
Yeah. I think you are.
You also have cookbook notes. There, cookbook. No, I created my own.
Oh, you created a new one. Wonderful. Go. Got you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm gonna. Okay, right. You start working on the next one. The next thing we need to decide then
is the 6th level feature, which is just the expanded spell list.
Okay, but call it something. Expanded recipes.
Extra recipe. Extra.
Super spicy. Super spice.
I just extra
more
recipe.
ingredients.
I really just think it needs
expanded spell list.
It really doesn't need to have an extremely fancy or complicated name.
Well,
it's
in that case,
expanded spell list and lots of classes. Just call it an expanded spell list. If
fair. Okay, but I shared in the under notes there is something called Gastro-mancer notes. Open that note. I'll just quickly share it again. There you go. Just
I see it. Yes, thank you.
Work with that note and just refine your spells a little bit and see if you like the spells that are there. While I quickly do some flavor writing. Cool. So flavor writing. Guess we're using specially prepared inks. No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. It passes down by the wizard or what it is. Okay. I like the passing down wording. Awaken the spellbook. Okay, cool. So,
Okay, I want to go to cantrips. Yes, filter spell. Filter them.
Filter the spells. With what? A colander, my good man. A colander. But all the cantrips will fall out. Sorry, I need more water. I'm still recovering from my 4 beers.
Liquid bread. That
It's good
needs
for
to be a
you.
spell.
We're gonna drink till we spew. You. Who cares if we get
There,
fat?
there,
I'll
there's
drink to
us.
that. As we sing one more time.
Out. I think
Recipes handed down.
on acid splashes all the list. Control flame. On fires on the Eldritch Blast, because that's
Best
what this wizard
polka.
needs.
But
No. In
wizards
code.
aren't.
So fire.
Ale wizards. Oh my god.
Ale wizard.
Oh my god. That's like a I want to make the argument that Ale wizard needs to be a subclass of monk that gets wizard spells. You get so drunk you forget which class you are.
You do know that the Drunken Master is already a monk class.
Shh.
You touch cleric. I think
Um,
I'm pretty happy with the spell list we've picked. I just want to swap resistance for Druidcraft. I've decided I
Go for
want
it.
to give this. I want to give this. I can't actually edit the note.
You should be able. Oh well, just make a new
It's not.
note,
It's not
please.
unlocked.
Yeah, make a new. Oh yeah, make a brand new note for
Okay,
yourself,
cool.
and I'll copy everything over for you.
Okay.
There you go. Just give it a name or something. There you go.
Okay, cool.
You'll be able to edit it now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just
Okay.
going to swap out resistance for craft.
Right. So sharing notes like this is a surprisingly convenient way to work on things together. Anyways, in fancy grounds, I mean. Anyway, I need to work on this. I want to work on this. So recipes handed down by friends, family, and other chefs. Make up your book of family. Chefs with two Fs or one.
Chef.
One.
Chef is with one F.
Yeah, but two plural.
I think it's with one F still.
No Fs given. Family and other. Ingredient lists and
Okay. Now.
recipes handed down by friends, family, and other chefs. Make up your book of spells, ingredient lists, and wisdom. Timeless wisdom.
Okay. Here we go. Druidcraft is inferior to prestidigitation to a degree. Then again, I actually really like Druidcraft's ability to grow plants, like sprout little leaves and flowers, but it also can predict the weather. It can create a little symbol, like a little rain cloud or a little snowflake or a sun, a little like glowy sun to predict what the weather is going to be like for the day. So in that regard, gaan dit reën, ek wil braai.
Okay. Replacing the spellbook is tricky. But you can't really replace this book. Not exactly. This is more like a classical.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is
the
very
flavor.
specific.
Yeah, that's the flavor though. It needs to be fairly in line with the way
Existing rules.
existing
Yeah.
rules work. Because we don't want to even if it is a very powerful subclass, no one's gonna be happy if you gimp them with the like spell book. Oh, if your spell book is like destroyed
How
or
often do
taken,
people actually lose their spell books though?
Yeah. Huh?
I want to make the
Sorry?
argument though that to still short rest, it's fine, but you have to go to a tavern.
Then again, I don't. I think that the Order of the Scribes is the only one because it's actually like the Awakened Spellbook feature. I think the
Yeah,
only
that
that's
the wake and
that's
spell that's to do with summoning back the consciousness of the book. If we
yes,
remove that, replacing the spell book, it just falls back on the default rule for the wizard. Which let me go
yes.
check what that is. Stand
Yeah,
by.
so I think that we can stick to the default for their spell book. I just don't want it to be like their spell book is irreplaceable.
I'm just looking at the spellbook base rule real quick. Replacing the spellbook base rule. You can copy spells from your own spellbook into another spellbook, for example. If you want to make a backup of your spellbook, yeah, this is like copying a spell. Okay, you can make a backup. Level of copied spells. If you
Can
lose
you,
your
if
spellbook, you can use the same procedure to transcribe the spells that you have prepared into a new spellbook. Filling out the remainder of your spellbook requires that you find new spell. Yeah, no, the base rule is that you lose your book and you need to rebuild it. You
okay,
don't just get it back.
okay, but you can still rebuild it. I
Yeah,
don't want it
you
to.
can.
I don't want it to ever be a case of you
It's
have
the
the
thing about
great
the
great
thing about
Nana's
the
book of recipes, and if it is destroyed, there is never. No, no, no. The family wouldn't let you take the original. You've got a copy. Nana's book stays in the glass case.
yeah, well, that comes down to background and player. But
Yeah, fair
the
enough.
thing though
But
is
yeah.
that if you lose your spellbook, it's lost. You can rebuild it.
Okay,
But
yeah, no, then that's fine.
I have to
I
visit 5 Grandmaster remake it. I love that so much. You have to go to the Feywild and go talk to all the hags that run it now.
the hags that run the Feywild.
Ooh, yeah. One of your spells is summon outsider, and then you summon you need to summon fake creatures and to bind them and talk to them and get all the spicy cookbooks back. Um, but then again, yeah, I mean, okay, cool. So that's just the base rule. I'm just gonna quickly paste that in so we have that available. But yeah, that's available. Cool. That's it. Cookbook is done into the Fancy Grounds one. Um, then expanded spell list is available to edit, but you are editing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are working through it.
Okay. Then the 10th level feature. Why is this still open? I opened it accidentally. Close that. 10th level feature. So the 14th level feature is signature dish. The 10th level feature is I want it to be a stored spell of some description.
And not.
So
Well, currently I've got it as question mark Master Baker because it was.
are you a master baker? You know they say cornflakes helps with that. So the
Eldest.
Chronogy Mage has the Arcane Abeyance feature, which allows you to essentially store a spell. Um, I don't want to. I don't want to name another thing arcane, but I will. I like the concept of arcane confectionery.
Okay.
or or hex cakes. Not a
Hex
bad one.
cakes.
That's not a bad one.
Hex cakes. That's awesome.
Um, thing is,
Or,
hexes and D&D are technically a sort of thing.
yeah, they are. Definitely they are. I need to
Uh,
quickly fix.
although they
Feature list.
technically only apply to the warlock. There's the hex spell, obviously, and then there are hex features that the warlock can get.
Six
I like arcane
level
confection.
arcane confectionery. Okay, gastromancy expanded spell. Okay, you're happy with the spell list as this now.
Yes. It can be revised at another
Obviously,
date,
no. Obviously, I'm
but
just
I
happy
think
that
for now
we
it's
got.
really good actually.
I really like. Yeah, God of Moxie says bestow curse also makes sense.
Hmm.
But I'm not at the same wavelength as you guys just yet.
It makes sense if you want to be an evil chef, like my cooking is going to cause you great distress.
Be
Or
our
like
guest.
yeah, I don't know. I'll think about
Expand,
it. Thing is, it can
expanded
always be
list of.
changed and revised.
Spe-
This is just a first draft. I don't think we're going to break the bank with the build. At least not
the
in this
following.
iteration of it.
The following.
Okay.
Become class spells. 6. Okay. I just want to know that italic. Okay, cool. So, blah, that's that for now. We don't have to overthink it. Okay, wonderful. The spell list is added to the class. Wonderful. Then, okay, so Master Baker, we're working on that now. Okay, well, we're not calling it Master Baker necessarily. What's the kind of strength level we're looking at here? Because so the
The
previous one was the Order
idea.
of the Scribe, which was whenever you finish a long rest, you can create one magical scroll by touching your quill on a blank piece of paper, and you choose which type of spell. Basically, you create a spell scroll for free.
Yeah, you create a spell scroll for free. I want to store spells in food. That's the feature.
Oh, cupcakes. Oh, but why not then? Similar to what was it again? You can maybe make it, good or bad. But then again, why would someone you don't that doesn't like you eat something you give them? So that doesn't really make sense. The healing side makes more sense here. So
Yeah,
what
no,
about
I mean,
what about the ability to make essentially confectionery healing potions?
okay, but no. No.
So it's like flat out no.
The feature is you store spells you. The feature is you store spells in food. They don't have to be bad spells. They don't have to be healing spells. You could store breathe. Water breathing, or feather fall. Okay, that feather fall doesn't really work. It work because it needs to be a reaction. But you know what I mean. You could store spells
This is
in a cookie.
a little bit Alice in Wonderland,
In a confectionery. Yeah. Enlarged reduced person. Exactly. Beautiful example. You could store enlarged reduced person in a cupcake.
Yeah, I like the idea that also. Okay, so I'm over to your side of this now. I like the idea of just being able to do spell storing in food. Also, God of Moxie makes a point that the class has a lot of guile, like guile like stuff. So food for enemies makes sense since you could convince them. Basically, yeah, you
Yeah, that's
could
what I
trick
was
people into
going
doing it.
for. That's what I was going for with the trying to create the disadvantage on wisdom saves scenario, where if
Okay,
someone
cool.
eats
Okay,
your
so
food, they have disadvantage on wisdom saves because you've made such good food for them, you can influence them more easily. But I'll revisit it. For now, I really want us to get a really nice outline that we can refine over time. Um,
absolutely.
so I'm still stuck on arcane confectionaries or confectionaries of containment or something like that.
Oh, I
Um,
like that. Well, let's rapid fire some names. I'm gonna see if I can help you out with some names. So, what about uh, spell
and I
cakes?
don't like the word mana. If some don't use the word mana, it's not in D&D. Not in my D&D. Mana
X
is
rolls.
okay. Hex God of Mox already suggested hex cakes.
Yeah, I'm just uh, tart traps. Um,
Tart traps, not bad. They're not necessarily traps, though. Um,
what's the other one? I could look at
I think our stream is broken.
also.
Either that or my Twitch is broken.
No. Stream is still fine. Stream is still up. I just quickly check the OBS.
No,
Nope,
it
it is
was my
still
Twitch.
running.
It's fine. It's my Twitch. Um,
It is still running.
I need to think of interesting things. Transmuter's stone. Gastromancer's truffle? No.
I'm writing that down. Screw that. That's truffle trouble.
Temporal truffle. No.
Oh, that's awesome! Poor old truffle. I love that so much. Oh, that I like that. Temporal truffle. What about
temporal trifle instead of truffle, because
Oh,
truffle is a specific thing. Truffle is that fancy fungus food.
yeah.
But you need pigs.
Fancy fungus food.
It is a type of fungus that
I
you need pigs to
know.
find,
Well,
and
not
I've
really.
never had any, so I have no idea if it's actually worth the hype of a
Yeah,
lot these days anymore.
there's a company in South Africa that's actually working to create artificial truffles to bring down the cost of the product. Anyways, that's a different story in itself. Temporal trifle. These are cool spell names.
That would actually make more sense for a spell name. I really like the idea of arcane confectionery. I know that I already have arcane cutlery, but it's a simple, straightforward name for what they are. They're arcane confectionery.
Just check my spelling, please.
I think that's correct.
I'll just quickly do myself a favor and Google it. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so quick aside. Arcane confectionery is what? No, come on. It's popping up on my searches or something. Hang on. What's this?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm on Facebook a lot. There was a Facebook page called this. Oh, there's an Instagram. Okay. It's an Instagram.
The A needs to change to an E. In confectionery, the last A. It needs to be ERY instead of ARY.
Yeah, that makes sense. Knew something goes wrong. Arcane confectionery is an actual chocolate producer.
Oh, interesting.
That's cool.
It's ours now.
Oh dear lord, that's frightened the cock out of me just now. Okay, it's ours, I guess. I'm sorry, Dylan. Jeez, freaking hell! I'm awake. Arcane confectionery. Okay, cool. These are. I'm just gonna. Oh, fine. I'll take my spell cakes and my hex rolls and my temporal trifle and I put it in my gastromancy notes.
There's nothing wrong with those names.
Is there anything wrong with it? Runs in the corner.
They're all specific types of confectionery. They're
okay, so this is basically going to be a spell storing thing. So we can use the spell storing ring as a start for wording.
I'm going to use the Chronergy School of Magic as a basis of comparison because it's basically the exact same feature.
Okay, well.
The Arcane Abeyance 10th level feature of the Chronergy Mage is when you cast a spell using a slot of 4th or lower, you can condense the spell's magic into a mote. The spell is frozen in time at the moment of casting and held within a grey bead for 1 hour. And then the bead has a tiny is a tiny object with an AC of 15, 1 hit point, and yada yada.
Where's the chronomancy? Is the chronomancy? Okay, thank you. We're looking for it.
A creature holding the bead can use its action to release the spell within. So ours is going to be a little different.
This is, you say this, which is this for chronal shift or temporal awareness? Which one?
Arcane Abeyance.
Cool. Okay, so you're using that as a base for the wording.
As a comparison, as a point of comparison.
Okay.
So I think the big thing I'm going to change here is, with 10 minutes of preparation, I need to write this down. This and then writing.
See of the Gastro.
Wait, what? Where are the features?
Okay, figure that out for a second. I'm just gonna quickly refresh my drink.
No worries. Edit. Master Scrivener.
Oh my good lord.
Confectionery. All right. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can create one magical scroll. Here we are. Whenever you finish a long rest, create. I am actually going to steal wording from the ref feed. Special food provided you have. See. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can cook special food provided you have ingredients and cook's utensils on hand. You can prepare a number of full or intelligence modifier. Hmm. 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 When you finish a long rest, you can cook special food provided you have ingredients and cook utensils on hand. You can prepare a number of confectionaries equal to your intelligence. Store a spell of fourth level or lower. Spell or a spell of lower in one. Uh, spell of fourth spell of fourth level lower. 10th level. Yes. Gastro-mancer. This is the boring part of the show where I just talk to myself out. Um, and I steal a lot of wording from lots of different things. Uh, Chef feet, arcane abeyance. And I am now busy trying to make sure that it isn't more powerful than the arcane abeyance feature because that's already pretty darn tootin', if you get me drift. Whenever you finish a long race, you can cook special food, provided you have ingredients and cook's utensils.
Okay, I am
Prepare.
back.
Welcome back! Intelligence modifier. Install a spell of fourth level or lower in one of these. Spell lasts for an hour. Spell lasts. Doesn't feel right. Lasts for. How long do the treats from 8 hours? I'm going to say the spell lasts for 8 hours.
The treats from the chef's feet.
Yes.
Yeah, it's essentially a
Uh,
day.
spell lasts for 8 hours. And
Yeah.
this feature is no, okay, this feature is very powerful. Without some changes. I'll think about it. Hmm. Do you roll up little fortune cookie-like scrolls to store the spells inside the food? That's the
Oh,
beauty. That's the beauty. You can
you can
flavor
flavor
it.
this very, very easily. Yeah.
You can flavor it. That would actually not be a bad name for this feature if you don't like arcane confectionery. Fortune cookie.
Um.
But no, I like the idea. The thing is, arcane confectionery is very generic. It can be any kind of confection. You can store a spell of 4th level or lower in one of the confectionery. Spell lasts for 8 hours and um hmm. Hmm. Whenever you special food, provided you have ingredients and prepare a number of confectionery. Prepare a number of confectionery.
Lord.
Uh, hmm. Wedding's going to need. What's good lording over there?
Nothing I can share on stream.
Oh no.
Nothing bad. It's just I'm old.
Oh, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. And if you finish a short rest, finish a and prepare. You can prepare. Prepare a special confectionery. Special con.
Just
Whenever you finish, prepare a special con.
okay. So yeah, you're working on the wording there. What I'm gonna then
Mm-hmm.
start looking at real quick is their signature dish. I'm gonna start rapid firing ideas there. Not to you. You can focus on the zone out for that. Signature dish. Okay, so I like a signature dish. What would make a good signature dish set of rules?
Oh, I was thinking. So the wizard class already has, at high levels, it already has what's known as a signature spell. Um, your 20th level feature is signature spells. When you reach
Hmm.
20th level, you gain mastery over 2 powerful spells and can cast them with little effort. Choose 2 level wizard spells in your spell book as your signature spells. You always have these prepared. They don't count against the number of spells you have prepared, and you can cast each of them once at 3rd level without expending a spell slot. So I was thinking, and then okay, at 18th level you have spell mastery, which is at 18th level, you achieved mastery. You choose a 1st level spell and a 2nd level wizard spell that are in your spell book. You can cast these spells at their lowest level without expending a spell slot when you have them prepared. So my thought was signature spell is choose a 1st
Well,
level spell. Are you?
yeah, I'm
Yes.
here, but this is signature dish, not spell.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm not saying no. I'm not like actually completely shooting it down. I'm just trying to get my head around because this just okay. I guess this just adds more spells anyway. But anyway, finish your thought. You,
So you choose a 1st level spell. Uh, and you can cast the spell at its lowest level without expending a spell slot if you have it prepared. It's just your signature spell. It's another signature spell, but
oh,
uh,
okay.
it's just an extra one on top of your other signature spells, and you get it at a lower level. It's fairly straightforward.
Yet another signature spell abbreviates to Yas.
Yes.
Sorry.
We could flavor
Signature.
it if you'd like. It could be
No, 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 no. The flavor is secondary. I
actually.
was curious about the
I
mechanic.
I actually like the idea of. But ritual spells already do that. You could, if you
What
prefer.
about a signature dish? Okay, so there is the spell list we've gone through with signature dish. You can do Hero's Feed. Maybe one of the like food-based spells becomes a signature spell. So it becomes another signature spell, but you've got a shorter list. I'm not. I
I
don't.
have an idea. Oh
That's
yes,
me. That's not.
yes,
I'm not trying to limit it. I'm trying to sort of like see how we can combine the flavor and mechanic. But anyway, yes, you've got an idea. Go.
yes. You can choose a spell of third level or lower
Uh-huh.
that becomes a ritual spell for you.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Perfect. Uh. You choose spell of third. What's it called? Rich. Oh. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's a very straightforward mechanic. Just one line.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't need to be complex. But it is super powerful considering considering what was the previous thing? The cookbook
Yes, yes,
signature
which allows you to cast any.
signature dish. But then I think calling it signature dish is a bit misleading. So what are other about um something with preparation because ritual.
But it becomes a ritual, so it prepare it.
Yeah, signature dish makes sense. Yeah.
I want to make sure. What was the flower thingy? I've now. Check.
what which feature?
Oh, but then our cookbook already does this. Cast any spell as a ritual spell once per long rest.
Yes, but that burns that ability. This essentially gives you another one. But yeah, I guess it's too similar.
Well,
Uh,
then we take away the level limit. It doesn't have to be of third level. I don't know. This is very similar.
yeah, let me. You carry on wording. I'm gonna write down a few ideas. Um. Read. Okay, so I'm gonna rapid fire some ideas. Ideas.
Ooh, or it doesn't have to be one. You can pick three. No, but then it's not a signature dish. No. But that is an idea. We could change the name, and then you could pick three spells of third level or lower that become ritual spells.
Pick two. I've got a few ideas. I'll get to you in a second. I'm sort of like typing them away. Um. Uh. Uh.
I think. Like slavishly. Okay.
Um. This can actually be very involved if you want it.
It can be. Everything can be.
But because I've got a couple of ideas here with the signature dish idea, so I'll touch on that in a second. Um. Uh. Yes. Okay, so I've got a one here. I don't think you're gonna like this, but I'm gonna quickly just flesh it out a little bit. Um. Mm, must be ritual. Tab. No, tab.
This is maybe why this isn't such a great idea for doing this on stream, because there's a lot of
It's
sitting
not
here
interesting to listen to
typing
people like typing away.
and eat the confection.
Pick from an array of. Invest in ASMR keyboards. I can up the gain of my keyboard.
ASMR. Oh, is the sound of typing ASMR though? I could bring my mic. I can bring my mic down here close. So where was I?
Well.
Spell uses the spell attack save. Wait, a creature can eat the confectionery as a bonus action to release the spell within. Whereupon, well, I mean, it's eaten, so I don't need that. A creature can eat the confectionery as a bonus action to release the spell within. The spell uses your attack bonus and save DC, and the spell treats the creature. Oh, okay. Treats the creature who released it as the caster for all other purposes. If you finish a short rest, you can prepare a special confectionery. You can spell a third level or lower inside the confectionery, and it lasts for 8 hours. Okay, I'm going to bring my mic back up over here, and I'm pretty much done typing there for now.
Yeah, it's an entire genre of ASMR. I can complete.
Whenever you finish a short rest.
Am I still audible
Yes, you are.
for this?
Yes. You can store a spell of third level or lower inside the confectionery, and it lasts for it. Yeah. Yes, yes. Happy, I'm happy. Oh wait, I want to include here. Oop. Compared to other classes quickly. Game rule. Up fighter class.
Okay, so it's not. It's obvious.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here's my signature dish ideas.
Yes.
Reduce the cost of Hero's Feast. Like,
Mm-hmm.
make it almost a trivial spell for you. Okay, that's one idea. The other idea is pick 2 spells of third level or lower that you can combine to cost as 1 spell. So basically, you create like your own spell effect. Then I went off that idea and said, hey, what about building your own spells? So I went build your own spell. So the idea is that you make it there's the limits are it has to be a ritual spell, and then you this is why I said this will be a bit more involved, some people will enjoy this a lot, I think, because if you're going to play, you can basically you cook your own spell. How this would essentially look like is that you pick from an array of effects. It has to be a ritual. B, you pick from an array of effects. The higher the level of your spell, the more effects you can pick from. So you can have like 5 or 6 effects on your spell, like damage and this and that, or maybe just damage and increase. Keep adding. You can choose the damage effect 5 times and just keep upping the damage. But that pushes up the level of the spell. And you can technically create a ritual casting spell that has an attack effect. In other words, when you cast it for 10 minutes and then you like target something and attack it. The reason why you can do that is because you can do the Arcana Confectionery. So you can spend a ritual and build your own version of like magic missile, for example, into
Mm.
the item anyway. So basically building like that. The other one I had was you create a custom food item, which this is basically like a buffed version of the chef treats, which does more. It does. For example, you basically create food items that you can choose to. Or, you know, after creating food item, you create basically like advanced healing potions or debuffing confectionaries, things that you can um, have other people eat that debuff them. For example, let's say like larger creatures you fight. For example, especially when in Avernus or in higher level play, you'll end up fighting large creatures, and not all of them are intelligent. You can maybe just like get close to them and just pop something in their mouth or be eaten with it on you. Doesn't matter. There are different ways to skin that one, but it is something that someone eats that gives a massive debuff. You know, like makes them slow or stuff like that. But yeah, and then obviously buffing, maybe giving someone like a lot of temporary hit points or stuff like that. So those are my 4 base ideas. Some of them are very simple. They're very like combining, building your own thing is choosing 2 spells and having them work as one. But then obviously we need to codify, you know, which 2 spells, which types of spells are allowed. One of them has to be a ritual, we could say, and then the entire thing becomes a ritual. But yeah, those are my ideas. Ideas. You don't like you don't like
I'm
any of
thinking.
them.
I'm working on something else at the moment that
Okay.
my brain won't allow me to focus on
Okay, I was just curious.
the stuff at the moment. You can for 4th level spells,
This image isn't gonna fly
the
anymore.
confectionery and starting.
Food is a kind of magic. A full belly. And a full belly, good company, and fine one may go just as far as uh, 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 may go.
Confectionery. Okay. Starting at 14th level, you can store spells of 4th level or lower in the confectionery, and
How
starting
much art do you think a DM's Guild class PDF typically needs? They usually it varies. You actually do get some of them that have basically just a cover image, just so one piece of art, and then I've seen some of them that then go for the art on the pages itself. They then essentially borrow from third party sources, so you get like a hodgepodge of options. Um, but honestly, most DM guilds entries rely heavily on just a good cover page. Honestly, just like one good demonstrate, because if you've got a good cover page, I mean, it's easier for people to see your product, and then etc etc etc. But they are, so I don't know why you're asking, but yeah, that's your answer. One good image.
Control V. Okay, all right. I've got my arcane confectionery pretty
I
much
see.
sorted.
Need to go make the ale mage. Make my ale mage. He's gonna make an ale mage. Awesome. Yeah, hey, sure. I would be curious to see some of your concepts when you build them. Right. Let's quickly see your arcane confectionery. I've got it here. Okay. Um.
Righty.
Okay, so your wording is now placed in there. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Blap blap locked. Okay, so now that's arcane confectionery, and signature dish is the one that the last remaining one.
Yes. Signature dish. So, um, I think that I really like the idea of Yep, no, I like the idea. I know that our cookbook allows you to cast any spell as a ritual once per long rest, but our signature dish, you pick. There's no level limit. Doesn't have to be of the level or lower. No level limit. Pick one spell that counts as a ritual spell for you, because then our other feature of the cookbook also becomes more useful. Whenever you cast a ritual spell, you gain a number of temporary hit points. Um, and
Mm,
then we can maybe revisit the feature in the cookbook rather than try and make signature dish different, because I really like the idea of you just pick a spell, any spell, and it becomes a ritual spell for you.
the key thing here is also that wizards are really complex. Adding a lot of mechanics at the end of the class leveling is also tricky. I
Yes.
personally, I know personally for me,
Mm.
I would I would copy your Gastromancer and edit the signature dish and build my own little thing, because I would actually want to see that. Not that I will ever probably play it, but be able to build my own spell in that way. But that's because I'm interested in building that spell table. That has nothing to do with a Gastromancer right now. I like
Yeah,
your wording.
unfortunately it's fun,
No, no,
but
no, no. It's
unfortunately
amazing.
too no your
Super
the
amazing.
building no, yeah, but your concept of building a spell is really cool. It, it's n- not snappy enough for high level play. It's not snappy enough for fifth edition in general, which is kind of sad to some degree. And that's not to say you can't add crunchiness, but anytime I encounter extremely crunchy rules, especially in a class that is like it gives you a table of like crunchy, like you can do this stuff that slots together in this way, which is unlike any other class we have. It's a bit of a jarring moment. I don't know. I don't dislike it, but I don't think it'll fit the class with the way current fifth edition is set up. You'd need to write too much to make it work.
Mm. No, no, no. I completely agree. Um,
But yes, I love it. I actually really love this class.
Give me. I just need you to give us the wording for that, because currently I've just got pick one spell that counts as a ritual spell for you. I don't know if you want to word it differently.
I actually think that sounds fine. Signature. I'm just going to make it here.
It's a good, 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 good,
Dish.
good, good, good.
It's so simple. It's almost sad.
Yeah, one line. It doesn't need to be anything specific.
So I am going to try and word it the way the class feature for signature spell is. There we are. Menu. I'm going to steal this wording. See, at 16, you have achieved such mastery over the culinary arts. Such mastery. Culinary arts. That can now pass. Such mastery. Culinary. Now cast
I've got a brief Gastromancy as a class
spell.
flavor
Mm-hmm.
flavor description.
Mm.
Just as a food is a kind of magic. A full belly, good company, and a fine wine may raise your spirits, soothe your wounds, or recharge you after a long day. Gastromancers are wizards who fold their magic into their cooking. As a gastromancer, snacks, full meals, wonderful feasts all excite and enchant you as the ingredients and preparation come together with care and wonder to uplift the spirit and heal the body. And then obviously, I mean, there's more to be
I
said. This
like it.
isn't perfect. Yeah, uh, I'm not the best writer, but it's a start. It can be edited. I just don't want to leave that spot blank. Thank you.
Hmm.
Need to go make my ale mage. Um, this is coming together really nicely, actually. Now we need to make a magic item called the magic apron.
There already there. There already is an item known
They're
as the
already.
Butcher's Bib.
Oh.
It's from Wildmount as well.
Oh, for fuck. Oh, this is really nasty. What does this do? The black leather apron is perpetually covered with blood. Oh, wow, you. Even after being washed off, you gain the following benefits while wearing the apron. Okay. Once per turn, when you roll damage for a melee attack with a weapon, you can reroll the weapon's damage dice. If you do so, you must take the second roll. Okay. Your weapon attacks that do slashing damage score a critical hit on a. Oh, you've got a crit range. Yeah, that's dangerous. Also, you'll be easy to track because you're constantly dripping blood.
Mm-hmm.
You. The art is pretty though. It's good art.
I've
But it
decided to
doesn't.
change signature dish to signature dishes. And then at 16th level, you have achieved such mastery over the culinary arts that you can now cast certain spells as rituals. Choose 3 spells from your expanded spell list. Choose 3 spells, and that's why you
Yeah.
name the expanded spell list feature expanded spell list. Choose 3 spells from your expanded spell list from your
Class.
expanded spell
Gastromancy. Yep.
list.
So yeah, God of
Choose 3
Moxie
spells
says
from your
really
expanded.
hard for DMs to know what type of items to give to homebrew classes. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I haven't really
Luckily,
done a lot of homebrew classes. You have more.
luckily, Griffin's Saddlebag has such a huge collection of items, and
True.
they have a, a Fantasy Grounds mod that you can buy, and then
Mm.
you can get a ton of Griffin's Saddlebag items. I have it, and they're great. They're fantastic. Choose 3 spells from your expanded spell list. Uh, these spells now count as rituals for you. These spells now count as rituals. I like that. I prefer this. This makes more sense.
Okay, well, give me the wording.
I will pop it into the
Les notes.
notes.
Give les notes. Les notes me. No. This entire class would fit in with. Have you ever watched Food Wars?
I have. I love Food Wars.
It's great. Zelda and I loved every second of it. It was, and the second season and stuff isn't really available on Netflix yet because I'm probably licensing. But anyway, we really love it.
I've
It's such a
created.
lighthearted, you know, shonen anime. It is a shonen, isn't it?
I
With
believe so.
similar
Yes.
tropes.
But yeah, no, I absolutely adore it as well. I somehow lost the plot between season 4 and 5,
There are
but
there are 5 seasons of that dredge. Holy crap, that's awesome.
yes, yes. Um, I- and so I currently kind of need to play a little bit of mental rework because I somehow watched season 4 and didn't know, and I'm like, am I going crazy, or have I seen this? And then I'm realizing, oh, I've seen this, and then I'm like, I should be watching season 5, and then watching season 5, it's like But this doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what's going on. Have I watched season 4 or not? So I'm a bit confused. But yes,
Okay, so I'm gonna read this for myself. At 16th level. Why 16th? Because signature dish was 14th. No, I'll correct it.
14th, yeah.
Yeah.
14th.
At 14th level, you have achieved such mastery over the culinary arts that you can now cast certain spells as rituals. Choose 3 spells from your expanded spell list. These spells now count as rituals for you. Yeah, I agree. This is a better wording for it.
Yeah.
Imagine reaching level 20 in this class and people go, I am a god of fighters. And this I am the divine cleric of my chosen deity. And you just go, I baked cookies. I brought snacks.
I brought snacks.
Everyone's got these mean ass edgy characters, and you essentially make cupcakes for the party.
Magical cupcakes. I'm very proud of the.
And then if anyone slights
as well,
and then people are like, "What are you? You're just a cook." And then half the team just goes, "Don't insult our cook." You're
no, this is. I love this class so much.
And then the cook just steps forward, and says, "No, guys, I've got this." And he just puts off on his chef's hat and says, "Right, what do you want to eat? Shall it be your own ass?" And then bites into a cookie, and then suddenly something like a wish casts out of it. That's nasty because that's possible with this class. You can build a wish cookie.
Yeah, you can't. The maximum level you can store in a cookie is a 5th level.
Okay, but you can do fireball cookies.
Yes, you can.
Imagine entire tin of cookies. Don't eat. It's like sprawled on it, and then late at night you just just see the camp, and you hear the tin open. You hear crunch, boom. Imagine the fucking suicide bomber mess that would be if you post someone a box of cookies and one of them is a fireball cookie. That's not. Because this is essentially spell storing. This is like glyph of warding, which I use to store traps and stuff.
Yeah, it can be very broken. So it's actually you can only ever make one of them.
That's why I say one fireball cookie.
I'm considering because it's a 10th level feature, and I've incorporated that it improves at higher levels. So I'm thinking if I drop at it even lower, if it starts with it's a 10th level feature and you can store 1st level spells. So this is the balancing type stuffs that I contemplate whenever I build a class is if I want if I want you to be able to create multiple confectionaries, I need to balance it by restricting what you can store in the cookie. So instead of starting at 3rd level and then scaling to 5th, I allow you to bake multiples, and I start at 1st level and I end at 3rd. See, that's how I'm contemplating we could change that particular feature. But I kind of like the idea of this class has you can make one nuke muffin.
A nuke muffin.
And that is your do not eat the nuke muffin.
Nuke muffin.
This has been a really fun exercise.
I like your idea. I understand now why you wanted to build it, but thank you for taking the lead on this one. I mean, I didn't have nearly the same idea that you.
Yeah, I apologies if I'm at points going no when features
No,
are
not at all. I mean, as I said, you've got lead on this. You need to do your thing. I need to quickly Gastro-mancer. This obviously doesn't code fully correctly yet, but that's something we can fix later. The information is there. Well,
yeah, the one on D&D
awesome.
Beyond isn't fully coded either. I just want to quickly grab the expanded spell list here so that I can copy it. Control A.
Oh yeah, you got it.
There we go. A, Control C. For D&D Beyond.
Copy to you in WhatsApp as well.
No worries.
Just in case. There we go.
This be
because it's being weird. But in general, no, I like the idea of creating a Gastro-mancer. The Ale-mancer is definitely one of the Ale wizard is sounds cool. But what's the other thing
Thing
we said
is,
earlier we
now
need to
you
create
can
next?
go and now you can. Oh yes, the horticulturalist artificer.
Yes, yeah, like the nature-based or artificer subclass.
But the thing, beauty of this is now you can go and homebrew a bunch of food flavored spells.
Hmm.
Um, and one of them can be liquid bread, or any number of wine and ale and alcohol
There's
based magics.
yeah, there was a
And then yeah.
there was, what was it again, in the Glass Cannon podcast? They actually, the Glass Cannon podcast, anyway, in their current playthrough of Strange Aeons, the one player Skidmar, he plays an alchemist, which is a class in Pathfinder. And it was really, it's just a joke. It doesn't have any mechanical effect, but he essentially invented Pepsi. And it's a joke, but it's a joke. But then you turn around and go, he is an
Hmm.
alchemist. He does
Hmm.
understand carbonation. But yeah. Oh, by the way, before we start calling it, the
Hmm.
dice work very well.
Ah.
I've got some polish, and my Dremel does a great job in polishing it. Also, the clear acrylic spray paint. Excuse me, burp. The
Hmm.
clear acrylic spray paint does wonders.
Hmm.
To actually,
Making them shiny.
yes. So yeah, that really does. The cookies. To make them shiny. And then, but what I have found, however, is that you can't just spray and forget. I have to, once I've got the lettering done, I need to then spray it. Well, okay, the lettering, I need to do the lettering, then do the first sanding to reduce the sprue connections,
Hmm.
and just smooth off edges. And then once I've got that done, I need to move. Then I move to just have some general cleanup. Then I spray it, and once I've sprayed it, then I can then I need to sand it again with a very high grit to just smooth out the spray,
Hmm.
um, and then polish it. So yeah, I've got my sequence now down. So that's
Hmm.
next. But anyway, thank you, freaking God of Moxie. You have been an absolute star. Uh, thank you for visiting us and ideas. Um, And yeah, that's pretty much it. For anyone that doesn't know what we do, we run. I'm just gonna put this at the end here, so people. So
Yes. Self promotion.
if anyone does wonder what the hell what this is all about, we're just two friends trying to just have fun on Twitch on Friday nights. This is honestly just a highlight of my week. Other than that, this is part of the logo on screen and everything is for the Gilded Rose. The Gilded Rose is a board gaming, well, a role playing game specific club for Central South Africa and Bloemfontein. We're very small. We don't need to be super large. But yeah, we do events and stuff for Bloemfontein in Central South Africa. But anyway, so that's what we do. And if you want to follow us on YouTube, if you miss the streams, or someone that would want to see this creation of this Gastro-mancer, we do have a YouTube channel that we literally just dump this entire session all on it at once. Dungeon DJs. I just need to find the link quick. There we go. See? There we
We settled on the name because on the name Dungeon DJs because both of our initials are DJ. It's
go. Yeah. I'm Dominic Johan and you are Dylan Johannes, I think.
Johannes. Yes. But we
Um,
might change that to also just the Gilded Rose.
yeah,
I
we'll
like
see that.
Dungeon DJs.
Yeah, I also do, kind of. Right. So have a wonderful the evening, guys, and thank you, Dylan. Right. Anything else you want to
It's a
greet with, Dylan?
pleasure. No, I just. Well, thank you for listening. Bye byes.
Bye bye, everyone.